to his skill. Kyle Field in College Station, Texas, sold out more than 86,000 here at the site of the only game this weekend between two teams ranked top 10 in the country. Number 7 Oklahoma State takes on number 8 Texas A&M. It has been 36 years since the home 12-man hosted a top 10 matchup. You have to go back to 1975 when number 2 A&M beat number 5 Texas during Earl Campbell's sophomore season as a Longhorn. That was a long time ago, and these fans are ready to host a big ball game. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Sean McDonough along with Matt Dillon. Delighted to have you with us as we look not only at two of the best teams in the country, but particularly two of the best offenses in the country. The last 3 years in this rivalry, the combined points have been at least 67, and we expect another shootout today as Oklahoma State rolls in here, Matt, averaging 52 points per game this year, more than 600 yards of offense, with perhaps the best quarterback-receiver tandem in the country.
Yeah, they really do. You know, Brandon Whedon, the quarterback, came in a year ago, just started throwing the ball all over the field. And Sean, he has not stopped. Former baseball player, he is not afraid to throw it under pressure, in tight windows, anywhere on the field. And the reason is Justin Blackman. Blackman just might be the best receiver of the NCAA. And he does it a lot of different ways. He can beat you with speed, he can beat you with power, but he usually beats you to the end zone, and they've done it often.
And here at Texas A&M, they have a terrific quarterback wide receiver duo as well. As a matter of fact, Jeff Fuller, their wide receiver, trying to make an argument that he is the best receiver in the country, even though Blackman won the Bolitnikoff Award last year.
Well, he would make a case for it because there's a quarterback also who's throwing the ball all over the field. Ryan Tannehill, he really come on. He came on again a year ago. He started and just kept on coming. He's not stopped. He's gotten better. And Jeff Fuller, great range, powerful hands, attacks the ball. We're going to have a lot of points today. These two guys are going to be in the middle of it.
Oklahoma State is 3-0, and the Aggies 2-0 as they take the field. Home wins for Texas A&M over SMU and Idaho. One of the biggest games of this young college football season. Oklahoma State and Texas A&M, the kickoffs right after this. At Kyle Field in College Station, Texas, where the atmosphere is as good as any college football venue in America. Deafening noise provided by the 12th man in the stands. A&M won the toss, elected to receive. Ben Molina back deep to return the kick from Quinn Sharp. And we are underway in just the third top 10 matchup in the history of the stadium, which dates back to 1905. It's a touchback, and here's Janine Edwards.
Well, Sean, for a matchup as important as this, the Aggies certainly wanted to be firing on all cylinders today, but they're not. Their best defensive player, cornerback Coriel Judy, is out. He pulled a hamstring this week. He came out for warm-ups in shorts with pink kinesiology tape all over the back of his leg. He would have been tasked with defending Justin Blackman. Also, their leading tackler and best pass rusher, Sean Porter, he's been battling a virus there all week. Barely took practice, but he is playing today. And wide receiver Jeff Fuller, he's been nursing a hamstring of his own. He only took half his reps in practice. Sean, not ideal for the Aggies.
No, indeed, but they think they have enough to get the job done today. Tannehill out throwing on target. Zomo Wachiku for 8 out to the 28-yard line. Let's look at today's impact players. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Cyrus Gray, part of a backfield tandem with Kristen Michael. Gray's looking for 10 straight 100-yard rushing games, and Ryan Swope enters as their leading receiver. He's the slot receiver ordinarily. Both teams go up tempo. Tannehill fires again to Wachiku. Justin Gilbert made the tackle. On defense for Oklahoma State, Markel Martin making his 28th straight start. That's the longest active starting streak among the Cowboys, one of the hardest hitting safeties in the country. and a senior NFL prospect.
Going down the other end.
Cyrus Gray, the running back. Again, they spread the formation. Tannehill given time. Sailed on his pass, sailed over the head of Jeff Fuller, with Broderick Brown in the Oak Ridge for the Oklahoma State defense.
Sean, we talk about the skill set Texas A&M has, and it's formidable. But to me, when you watch this team, the difference could be in this offensive line. It's a big, young group, and they protect extremely well.
Biggest offensive line in the history of A&M, averaging about 108 pounds. 4 wide left receivers, 3 to the left of Ryan Tannehill, a senior from Big Spring, Texas, who takes off running right up the middle. Touchdown, Texas A&M. 65 yards. Well, you saw the great speed of Tannehill. He was a wide receiver earlier in his career. Matter of fact, played wide out against Oklahoma State in Stillwater last year. Randy Bullock at the extra point. Tannehill on the 4th play from scrimmage for the Aggies. 65 yards. His longest previous run this season, 0 yards.
That is a great call by Sherman, the head coach. I want you to watch Rashedi Jones, number 99. He is going to have to watch the mesh point. Watch the ball and watch the eyes of Tannehill. He's watching. If he bites, he goes. You see the bite, and now he goes. This is a piece of the puzzle that has not been seen in the Texas A&M offense. And Mike Sherman busted it out early. People forget how athletic Tannehill is, and he shows them how good he is.
He arrived here as a quarterback. It was 3rd string behind Stephen McGee and Gerard Johnson. At the time, Tannehill told Mike Sherman, okay, I understand, but I think I'm better than those 2 guys. Of course, McGee wound up in the NFL. Johnson's the all-time leading passer at A&M. But Tannehill, after playing wide receiver, got the chance with the team 3-3 last year to play quarterback, and he ignited them. They finished 9-4 and went to the Cotton Bowl, shared the Big 12 South with Oklahoma State and Oklahoma.
Sean, he was right when he told them he thought he was better. He was better.
And Randy Bullock kicks off. Justin Gilbert stumbled for a moment, as did I. Nice cutback. And now the ball's out. Recovered by the Cowboys. They might have ruled Gilbert down near the 19. We'll see where they mark it. David Paulson made the tackle, or rather recovered the football for Oklahoma State.
He's down when it came out.
And they did mark it back at the 18, where he lost the football. Well, Gilbert, an excellent return man, brought one back for score last week at Tulsa. Stopped before the 20. And here come the Cowboys. One of the best offensive teams in the country in recent years, and again this season. Joseph Randall to the 21, a gain of 3. Let's look at today's impact players, including Randall's averaging 126 yards per game on the ground, 10th in the country. Josh Cooper, another slot receiver. Light swope of Texas A&M, regularly on the receiving end of passes from his quarterback. Randall out to the 25. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3. And the Chick-fil-A impact players on defense, including Sean Porter, as Janine said, missed him this practice time this week with a virus at a very sore throat, lost some weight. He's in there today on a very warm day with the temperature in the 90s. And sunny skies. Whedon, after the fake, has a 1st down. Good throw to the far sideline to DC Moore. His 10th catch of the season. Chased out by Dustin Hare. 1st down.
When you watch Brandon Whedon, you're going to see he has a little bit of a Brett Favre mentality in that he believes he can make any throw from anywhere in the field. Mechanically, sometimes he's not very good, but he believes in his arm. The majority of the time, he's right.
The leading passer in the country coming in. That pass on target. Catch by Hubert Anium. Going to mark the ball at the 40, very near first by tackled there by Terrence Frederick. And it is a first down. Sorry, Matt.
Both these teams, Sean, very similar.
Flag on the play.
Still substitution on the defense. 12 men on the field on the ball is snapped. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Scott Novak, the referee, leading this Big 12 crew.
Yeah, and that's from the offensive side of the ball, and that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to make you have to match your pace. The similarities, both offensive lines, stable. Both quarterbacks, very good. Both have a receiver that can take you to the next level, and both have a running back who's capable of turning it into big plays.
Whedon trying to set up a screen. Randall, and he's taken down by Terrence Frederick for loss. Loss of about 5 on the play, back to the 40-yard line.
Sean, this is a blitz, and Frederick has Randall in coverage, and so he just puts it right away.
Randall with running room across the 50 and out of bounds near the 30-yard line of A&M. Banged out by Stephen Campbell, the safety. 31-yard run for Joseph Randall, the sophomore from Wichita, Kansas.
Look at the defense on the other side. Nobody was lined up. They did not get their call on time. That comes from the sideline. And they caught him. They caught him here again.
Yeah, they caught Texas A&M with men coming on and off the field defensively.
On the defense, 12 men on the field when the ball is snapped. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Tim DeRuyter is the defensive coordinator, one of the most animated assistant coaches in the country. And he's done a terrific job. They were one of the worst defensive teams in the nation 2 years ago. He arrived last year with a 3-4 defense, and they made a dramatic improvement. Jeremy Smith in a tailback. Whedon faked it to him, throws, incomplete. Justin Blackman couldn't take it in.
Well, Tim DeRuyter, the defensive coordinator for the Aggies, is not afraid to bring pressure. He'll give you all kinds of different looks, and that's a rarity you're going to watch right there. Blackman rarely misses a ball. That's on him.
Whedon out of the gun. 2nd and 5. Brandon's a senior. On target, just short of a first down. Blackman held on to that one, then had Dustin Harris draped all over him. They had hoped that Coriel Judy would run for most of the day as the defensive back covering Blackman, but they don't have him. He's their best. So a lot of that load will fall on Dustin Harris, the junior. On 3rd and 1, quick pop to Blackman. First down, shoved out of bounds. They'll mark it at the 13-yard line. 1st and 10. Cowboys trying to answer the quick strike by the Aggies.
And now the official, the umpire stepped over the ball. The rule is if the offense brings people in, you have to allow the defense to.
And A&M had time that time. Gandil did not get back to the line of scrimmage. Sean Porter made the tackle. Tony Jared Eddy also at the bottom of the pile for their leading tackler for the season.
And you heard Janine talking about just missing practice this week and being sick. He lost some weight. They had him on fluids. And he's walking around a little bit yesterday. You knew he wasn't going to miss this one.
Whedon out of the gun. 4 receivers, 3 to his right. Just 3-man rush. All kinds of time. And again, the ball comes out of the hands of Hubert Anium. Terrence Frederick helped dislodge. But these Cowboy receivers aren't helping the cause on the opening drive.
I'll tell you what else isn't helping their cause is Frederick. Frederick, number 7. He's been tough down here, boy. He's been on his coverage. He's been making tackles.
They have a good and veteran secondary. Would have been a lot better with Coriel Dittity, but still plenty of talent back there. Frederick comes on a blitz. Didn't end the tackle on Randall. He dances to the 10, tripped up by Trent Hunter. The senior safety, former high school teammate of Terrence Frederick at Katy High School in Katy, Texas.
Well, he does a nice job of making Fred miss, and then Hubert Anium, 84, does not get Hunter blocked. Credit Hunter for making him miss and making the tackle.
So Mike Gundy sent the Eagle team out on 4th and 7 from the 10-yard line. A 27-yard try by Quinn Sharp, who's 6 out of 7 in field goals this year, and now 7 for 8. 13-play drive, but it doesn't take much time when the Cowboys are involved. As expected, each team's had it once. Each team has scored. Sean McDonough, Matt Millen, Janine Edwards in College Station, Texas. Big 12 opener between Oklahoma State and Texas A&M. The Aggies likely in their final year in the Big 12. They're heading to the SEC. They hope it's next year. Oklahoma State has won the last 3 meetings. Mike Sherman has not defeated the Cowboys. All them high-scoring affairs. That 3-game winning streak, the longest in the rivalry for the Cowboys. Ben Molina with a chance to kick the Quinn Sharp kickoff. Stephen Campbell, who brings it back to the 21-yard line. Andre May made the tackle. Here for key injuries there for Florida State, including E.J. Manuel, the quarterback. Ryan Tannehill on 1st and 10 from just across the 20. 9.5 minutes to go, first quarter. Tannehill taken down at the 25. Gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Alex Elkins made the tackle.
We talked about that big offensive line, but the flip side to that is neither of these defenses possesses a good pass rusher. They need schemes to generate the pass rush.
Bill Young, longtime college defensive coordinator, runs the defense at his alma mater, Oklahoma State. Cyrus Gray ahead to the 30-yard line. Christian Littlehead made the tackle, and the head coach at A&M is Mike Sherman, best known for his 6 years as head coach of the Green Bay Packers. Prior to that, he had been an assistant here at Texas A&M. His 4th season here. Steady improvement every year, up to 9 wins last year, and they believe they're better than that this season. 3rd down and 1. Gray running laterally and makes the cut to get the first down. Sean Lewis and Caleb Levy made the stop for Oklahoma State.
That's a case of 9 men up in the box against that offensive front, and they still were able to run on it. Credit Cyrus Gray for able to make a guy miss and pick up the first.
And Mike Sherman says Gray is very patient. Sometimes he's a little too patient as a runner. They'd like him to hit the hole more quickly, but the patience seemed to serve him well there. Tannehill under duress, stepped away and found Swope right up the middle of the field again, and chopped down at the 39 of Oklahoma State by Broderick Brown. 27-yard completion.
This is called managing the pocket. Comes right up inside. That's Nigel Nicholas. Has the free shot, but he just steps to the side. You don't need a lot. Eyes down the field. He finds Swope for the big play.
Swope had 72 catches last year, tied Jeff Fuller for the team lead. That's also the single season school record. Toss back to Cyrus Gray. Again, patiently waiting for a hold and never did open up. Nigel Nicholas, their best defensive tackle, in on the stop. With help from Sean Lewis. They're a little thin at defensive tackle. Bill Young said if Nicholas comes out of the ball game, there's a big drop off at that position.
Not a this group, Sean. This is kind of a smallish defensive front. Their linebackers are small. They do run well, and they rely on a lot of movement.
Kristen Michael has come in at running back. Tannehill. It's plenty of time. And he hit the receiver, Nate Askew, just as he turned toward the ball. The ball caught the receiver by surprise. Justin Gilbert in coverage.
I learned from Coach John Madden a long time ago that when he looks at an offensive line, he likes to have them down in their stance, and he stands behind the line and he looks at those big old keisters. And he says the biggest ones make the best lift. And I got to tell you, he would like this offensive line here at Texas A&M. They got some big old guys in there.
3rd down and 11. 7 minutes to go, first quarter. Ryan Tannehill and Texas A&M leading 7-0. They're at the Cowboy 40. Line does a good job again, and the pass incomplete. 7-3 is the Texas A&M lead. Brian Swope, the intended receiver.
Well covered. That was good coverage in that series right there by the Cowboys. They decided to go with just 4 rushers, did not bring pressure, and went with coverage down below, and they did well.
Weren't sure who the punter would be. They've used 2 this year. They'll start with Ryan Epperson, the junior from Keller, Texas. Had a lot of punting problems last year. Used 3 different punters. This is a good one. Bounced inside the 5. And downed by Caleb Russell at the 9-yard line. 31-yard punt. A look at the troop headquarters for the Corps Cadets here on the A&M campus. It's also their command center and houses the horses of Parsons Mounted Cavalry, the only mounted OTC unit in the United States. 7-3, A&M leading Oklahoma State. Here's Janine Edwards.
Oklahoma State Cowboys to a field goal in that last series. Evidently, there was some confusion in the signal calling here. Linebacker Sean Porter sat down and called one of the coaches over, and they're discussing the signals and how they were having trouble reading the signals. So the coaches were saying they just keep signaling over and over and over until the ball is practically snapped. But they were pretty pleased with what they were able to accomplish, and the coach is telling their linemen, hey, that was their test shot, and we did a pretty good job on that.
Second possession on offense for Oklahoma State. They went 32 yards in 13 plays, had the ball for more than 5 minutes before settling for a short field goal. Joseph Randall, a hard-earned yard. Ran into Jonathan Stewart. Brown also in on the tackle for Texas A&M.
And we got a Cowboy down. Offensive line on the right side. You know, when you defend this fast pace, that's Lane Taylor, number 68, the right guard. When you defend a fast pace, there's 3 things that you have to be able to do. You have to maintain discipline across the scheme. You have to have good depth. With depth, you have to have discipline with that depth as well. And then, Sean, you got to be in great conditioning. If you're not in good condition, it's going to get you. Guys will start to suck air, and then pretty soon you're awful.
You're right both times. It is 90 degrees at kickoff. Mike Gundy and his Oklahoma State Cowboys, number 2 in the nation in total offense, 601 yards per game. Only Georgia Tech rolled up more yards per game offensively than Oklahoma State. 3-0 the Cowboys. Home wins over Louisiana Lafayette and Arizona, and a win on the road last week at Tulsa. Jeremy Smith bounced off a hit and got the first down. Trent Hunter credited with the stop. A 10-yard gain for Smith, sophomore from Tulsa. They're the #1 passing team in the country. Number 37 rushing, and 3rd in scoring behind only Georgia Tech and Texas Tech. Randall back in the game, got a yard across the 20, chopped down by Charlie Thomas.
They give you, speaking of this Oklahoma State offense, they give you a variety of different looks and personnel groups, and it's incumbent upon the sideline to be able, if you're going to make substitutions, you have to be sharp. You have to be sharp in the sideline. That's what Janine was talking about. Part of it's the signals. The other part is getting the right people in the game.
Whedon, a pump fake, a flag thrown in the offensive line. The catch made by Tracy Moore for a short gain. Tackled immediately by Terrence Frederick. Well, there was a flag thrown by the umpire.
Personal foul, chop block on the offense. Number 1, half the distance to the goal. 2nd down.
Another Aggie down on the field right there.
I wonder if he was victimized by the chop block.
They came in a blitz up inside, and Joe Randall apparently cut somebody who had already been engaged.
Charlie Thomas starting inside linebacker, the injured player. Mike Sherman out on the field to take a look at Thomas, sophomore from Beaumont, Texas. They are thin at inside linebacker. That was one of the few positions which they had some concern starting the year. One of the reasons the top M ranked in the top 10 in the preseason for the first time since 1919. They have 18 of 22 returning starters back.
Watch Randall. See, he already drew a bead on him before he could be engaged by the offensive guard. That's Jonathan Rush, number 70. So he had head down, and they made the right call.
And Thomas limps off. The penalty brings the ball back to the 10-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and 20. 5:20 to go, first quarter. The clock runs again now. A&M leading Oklahoma State 7-3. Whedon, 27 years old, spent 5 years playing minor league baseball. He was a pitcher. Hands it off to Randall. Ahead for a yard and a half. Wrapped by Sean Porter. Justin Blackman, a little agitated, perhaps. The ball's not coming his way right now. You'd expect they might look for him on 3rd down and 18.
He's up all by himself up top. They're going to keep his safety. They're going to watch somebody up on him, help, and then keep help over the top.
He regularly sees double coverage. That's why his numbers are down a little bit here at the start of the year. Josh Cooper. Good run, get to the catch, but did not get to the first down marker. Came up about 5 yards short. Taken down by Stephen Jenkins and Stephen Campbell.
Justin Blackburn, not a happy camper right now. They're going to take Porter first and push him up the sideline. There was a safety sitting right there. You see him at the bottom of your screen, so he's not pleased. But what he shouldn't be pleased about, not that he didn't get the ball, but that he dropped one earlier. Every opportunity you get, you got to take advantage of.
Quinn Sharp. Punt fields it on a bounce. Henrik McNeil the return. 10-yard return of a 45-yard punt, and the Aggies will start at their 41. There are 4 games this weekend matching ranked teams. This is one of them. The game tonight obviously is as well. In this one, number 8 A&M leading number 7 Oklahoma State. Cyrus 3. Cyrus Gray a first down carry out to the 46 against the 5 for Texas A&M. For the Aggies, ball is at the 8 and 46. Ryan Tannehill, the quarterback from Big Spring, Texas, near Midland, about a 6-hour drive here. Look out from behind. He stepped away from it, felt the rush beautifully, and found Ryan Swope again. Swope weaves inside the 30, shoved up by Markel Martin at the 27-yard line. 27-yard gain, 1st and 10.
Just sometimes you just have to buy some time. This is the 2nd time in as many carries that Tannehill has done that and made a big play out of it.
Five receivers now for Tannehill. Throws short, bobbled and dropped by Jeff Fuller. So each of the headline receivers, 2 of the very best in the country, Blackman and Fuller, have had a drop today.
Jeff Fuller, a little bigger man than Justin Blackman, 6'4". Justin's like 6'1.5". Both are powerful, and boy, they're fun to watch go after the ball.
We welcome the opportunity to make a statement in a head-to-head game. Obviously, we're not on the field at the same time. Swope took the handoff and slipped down for a loss. Nigel Nicholas nearest him. Caleb Levy also nearby. Ball back to the 31-yard line. 3rd down and 14 for A&M. 2.5 minutes to go, first quarter.
The difference in these 2 quarterbacks through this first quarter has been Tannehill's ability to run and make a play with his feet. So that becomes a big part of the things you have to take into account now defensively.
On the fringe of field goal range here. Passed ahead to Kristen Michael. He got to the 26, at least make it a more likely field goal attempt from Mike Sherman. Sean Lewis made the tackle, and Sherman will send the field goal team out. Here's Randy Bullock, 5 out of 6 this year with a long of 46. This will be a 43-yarder from the right hash mark. And it is good. Randy Bullock, senior from Klein, Texas, pushes the lead back to 7 for Sherman and the Aggies. Back in College Station, Texas. Texas A&M leading 10-3 over Oklahoma State. Randy Bullock will kick off. A little breeze there is at his back, and Justin Gilbert decided to take a knee a yard or two deep. Well, a frustrating first quarter for Justin Blackman.
Well, he's one of the top receivers, if not the top receiver in the country, and this is a rarity, but it's an opportunity that he misses. And then what you're going to see here is a little bit of frustration. He doesn't know exactly what the quarterback is seeing, like the safety coming over the top. But great players are ultra competitive. They know they can make plays, and they want the ball all the time. And the best way to take care of that right now is get Justin Blackman the ball now.
He has 2 catches. Last week at Tulsa, he had a string of 14 straight 100-yard receiving games snapped. It was the longest set streak in the history of FBS football. That is ruled a catch by Hubert Anium right in front of the A&M sideline, and no argument there. 11-yard completion to the senior from Garland, Texas, Anium.
Nice job of getting. That's right here. See, his eyes are right on top of it. He's watching the whole thing. He gets his hands underneath and runs it a catch.
And Oklahoma State snaps it quickly. The crowd wanted a replay review. Ty Staley, the fullback, shoved out by Caleb Russell. Now this is where the conspiracy theorists come in as well. A&M is leaving the conference likely at the end of the year. So we've seen other situations in recent years, teams moving conferences. They believe the officials are out to get them once they've announced they're leaving. Another 11-yard gain, 1 minute to go, first quarter. Whedon throwing a deep ball into double coverage and almost intercepted by Stephen Campbell, who came over the top on the coverage of Justin Blackman.
Foul. Hands to the face mask on the offense, number 61. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Michael Bowie, the left tackle, called for the penalty.
You see Bowie right down here. Yeah, he got his hand to the face mask. He just, yeah, he had it. That's a good call. And then here's Blackman on the top. You're going to see him working. Now, he is not on top of that coverage. And the safety's tracking the ball. That's great coverage by A&M.
First and 25. Ball brought back to the 27-yard line. Just a 3-man rush, and they get there with 3. Whedon sacked at the 23-yard line by Demontre Moore.
Sean, you said it. A 3-man rush, which means they're dropping 8 in coverage, which means it's tougher to find the open receiver. And then it's incumbent upon to do 3 up front to do something about it, and they do.
Boney marked at the 22. 2nd and 30. Four-man rush. Look out from behind, and Whedon down back of the 9 in the arms of Sean Porter.
Speed off the edge. Again, good coverage. They drop 7. Porter just keeps on coming. When Whedon tries to roll, he's lucky he didn't get a strip sack.
the first quarter. Texas A&M leading Oklahoma State 10-3 in this top 10 matchup. Robert, all right, Robert, thank you. Here it's 10-3. A&M has the lead in this matchup between two top 10 teams. 3rd and 43 for Brandon Weed and the Cowboys. A 15-yard penalty, then sacks of 5 and 13. Let's see what they have on 3rd and 40. It's the quick pass to Josh Cooper. Quality gain. He got 13 yards, but they need 30 more. Lionel Smith made the tackle, and the punt unit comes out for the Cowboys. Quinn Sharp is the punter. He already made a field day. He's punted 9 times this year for an average of 49.2. And this is a bomb. Henrik McNeil caught it at his 23. Now, flags are down. He's down. Justin Gilbert made the tackle. There are a couple of flags on the play. 55-yard punt. 5-yard return.
There are 2 fouls against the receiving team during the return, blocking the back. Number 14 of the receiving team. Penalties decline. During the return, blocking the back. Number 9 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
It has been a very emotional, very sad week for this Oklahoma State football program. 3rd from the camera with the glasses is Glenn Spencer, co-defensive coordinator and linebacker coach. Last Saturday night, when they were playing at Tulsa, he got a call that he needed to come to the hospital. His wife Angela, who received a heart transplant a year and a half ago, wound up passing away at the age of 46 Saturday night. Mike Gundy found out during the game. He told the team after their game that ended at 3:36 in the morning because of weather delays. And it has been, as you might imagine, a very emotional week for Coach Gundy. The staff and players remembering Mrs. Spencer with helmet stickers. Team attended a visitation on Tuesday night. Mike Gundy traveled to the funeral in Georgia on Thursday. Glenn Spencer was away all week and returned here today with his 2 teenage sons. Tannehill under duress and taken down. Ryan Robinson with the sack. Obviously, our deepest sympathy to Coach Spencer. His boys Luke and Abraham arriving here at the stadium with their dad before the game. Players we talked to during the week, tremendous respect for Mrs. Spencer, and I think Jamie Platnick said it best. Those boys are lucky they have a wonderful man as a father. Kristen Michael in running back for A&M. He's out to the 21-yard line. Markel Martin made the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 3, a 10-yard gain. So many spread formations on both sides. Tight look here from the A&M offense. Tannehill throws, caught, first down. Ryan Swope again with Broderick Brown nearest. 1st and 10. Here's Janine.
And getting back to the Glenn Spencer story, you know, it was Markel Martin who went to the equipment staff and the trainers just yesterday and said, guys, we really need to do something to honor Angela Spencer. It was his idea to put the helmet stickers, and it was only upon Glenn Spencer's approval that the stickers were made. Glenn didn't want to make a fuss. He didn't want anything done. But because a player asked for it, he agreed.
Jeff Fuller, the receiver. Markel Martin, a terrific team leader there at Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy said it was the first time he'd ever missed practice during his time as a coach, assistant, or head coach, but obviously it was much more important to be at the funeral on Thursday. Return to still and travel down with the team yesterday. Here's Kristen Michael. Great spin move. He got about 6 more yards. Out to the 44-yard line. 18-yard run for Michael, who missed the second half of last season with a broken leg, and that's when Cyrus Gray became their featured back.
Well, he's able to make that spin because they can call because that offensive line is winning the battle up front. We talked about it earlier in the game. We thought that they would be a big part of it, and it's turning out to be so. Young, a talented young offensive line.
Tannehill under set now. Michael, big hole created by that offensive line. Off left guard. Antoine Lowe had to make the tackle. A safety. That's a 9-yard run for Michael.
Just a nice job of bodies on bodies. 61 Patrick Lewis, Brian Thomas 71, Jokel, the left tackle 76. They're young, like I said earlier, but that's a good group.
Michael was their featured back last year before the broken leg. He carries for the first down. He and Cyrus Gray are the best of friends. When Michael broke his leg, Gray was the first man at the hospital to come visit him. And they both say they have absolutely no ego about who gets how many carries, and they're a pretty effective tandem right now.
There's Cyrus Gray, 30. But Michael is a little more explosive into the hole. Cyrus Gray, like you mentioned earlier, sometimes he hesitates just a little bit. He's a very patient runner. Sometimes that patience kind of backfires on him.
Tannehill looking to the sideline. He gets some signals, and they're going to use a timeout. He didn't seem to understand what they were signaling to him. Mike Sherman is the play caller. Acts as his own offensive coordinator. And there's a look at the coach's trophy presented by Dusty Pepper. It's on a season-long tour, stopping at key games every week. It'll be awarded as winner of the 2012 All-State BCS National Championship game in New Orleans on January 9th. These two teams hoping to be part of the national championship picture. Obviously, the winner takes a big step forward. Also with an eye toward competing and all alike with Oklahoma for the championship in the Big 12. Ryan Swope, his fourth catch of the day. He's out of bounds inside the 40. Mark it at the 35, about a yard short of the first down.
Good read by Tannen. While he knew that he had Wachiku out there as the blocker, gets it into Swope's hands. And I'll tell you, Swope's one of those guys, if you forget about him, he will kill you. And even if you're aware of him, he can still beat you. He's excellent speed. Not a lot of wiggle in him, but very versatile. This kid's a valuable player.
Running back in high school, runs a 4.40. They think he might be the fastest player on the offense. Michael's plenty fast. Out of bounds at the 17-yard line with another first down, shoved out by Justin Gilbert, who prevented a touchdown.
Just a nice job of watch his eyes. He's just good vision, and then it's just be a good football player. Just bounce it to the outside. Trust your offensive lineman. Michaels, he showed up in a big way here this first half.
5 rushes for 58 yards. To the end zone, caught, touchdown, Jeff Fuller.
Sean, there's a perfect example of attacking the football. It's in the middle of the field. You have a defender on you. Just a powerful job with his hands of going and just snatching the ball.
First catch of the day for Fuller. 17 yards. Caps an 86-yard scoring drive in 10 plays. Puts them up by 2 touchdowns. The extra point to come from Randy Bullock. And it's 17-3. A&M record 29th career touchdown reception for Jeff Fuller, the senior from McKinney, Texas. George Bush Presidential Library and Museums located here on the Texas A&M campus. Audio and video recordings, photographs, official records, the life and career of President George Herbert Walker Bush. Ryan Tannehill, 17-yard touchdown pass to Jeff Fuller. 17-3 A&M as Randy Bullock kicks off. Justin Gilbert's going to try it this time. And he should not have attempted it. Stopped at the 8-yard line. Shazer Everett leading the coverage unit. Desmond Gardner also in on the coverage. Let's take a look now at today's Good Hands play brought to you by Allstate.
That's Markel Martin, number 10 to the left in the defense, and Jeff Fuller. And both these players will be playing on Sundays. This is just a nice matchup and good coverage, but watch them just go attack the ball at its highest point and snatch that thing and bring it in, and that's the difference in the play. Well thrown ball, and Fuller comes down with it.
Oklahoma State again with poor field position, starting from their 9 on a slant. Justin Blackman out to the 29. 20-yard gain, first down. Cowboys with their 4th possession haven't started beyond the 20 today.
I expected to see this on the last series. You need to get him involved.
They go to Hubernium, far sideline, forced out at the 35-yard line, a gain of 6. And they're going particularly quickly on this possession. Whedon right back in the shotgun with Randall behind him. Kind of a pistol look. Randall got away from the tackler behind the line of scrimmage. Tony Jared-Eddy finally got him down with help from DeMontre Moore, but it's a first down for the Cowboys. Or is it? Looks like they're going to mark it just a little bit short. 3rd down and inches.
Out of asked for a measure right there.
And I believe there is some confusion. I thought live well past the yard to gain.
And now they're going to move it. Yeah, Mike Gundy was on the sideline yelling at the officials. And then the side judge over there, and that's walking in, and then that's when they moved it. Good job by Gundy.
It is 1st and 10. A&M's a blitz, brings a blitz. Josh Cooper, the receiver, stumped ahead to the 43. Gain of 4. Trent Hunter tackled, described by Coach DeRuiter as a peanut, generously listed at 5'10", is the safety for Texas A&M. But I guess it's fair because Hunter says, well, Coach DeRuiter's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he said it in a good way.
Yes.
Just like called him a peanut in a good way. But that kid's a player. Good ball skills.
Yeah. But you don't need to be gigantic to play safety in college football and play it very well. Tracy Moore, the run after the catch to the 46 of A&M, and looks like Oklahoma State starting to get in a little bit of rhythm on offense. Yeah, they're going a little more up tempo because they're going to the short passing game. A&M is playing off in their coverage. Now they're manning up, tight at the line of scrimmage. This is where I look for Blackman. Williams missed on only 2 passes. He's been hacked a couple of times after the fake. Cooper got leveled. Terrence Frederick popped him. The pass fell incomplete. 2nd and 10 is coming with 8:46 to go in the half, and Cooper wants to come out after he got rattled. Yeah, not a smart throw there. When you have man coverage like that, you're underneath stuff. They're going to jump the coverage right away. Every now and then Whedon gets a little floppy. He had thrown 6 interceptions in the first 3 games. Whedon connects with Colton Chelf, who came in for Cooper, senior from Enid, Oklahoma. He's at the 40-yard line, 4 yards short of the first down. Justin Blackman's off the field, which I'd have him on the field all the time. And Cooper's still out of the game as well, so they were their 2 best receivers for this 3rd down and 4 at the A&M 40. Aggie showing blitz. They rush 4. Whedon with plenty of time, throws to single coverage, incomplete. Looking for Joseph Randall. Sean Porter, the linebacker, running with the running back. It was going to be a wheel route up the left sideline. He had plenty of time for that. He could have taken that thing deep on Porter. He tried to throw it, to his back shoulder, but
Not good decision making right there at the end of that series.
Well, Quinn Sharp on the punt. Hangs it very high in the air. And it is a touchback. Just barely. This high-scoring Oklahoma State offense has been held to 3 points, and the Aggies lead 17-3. Back at Kyle Field, College Station, Texas, middle of the second quarter. It's a 17-3 lead for Texas A&M. We look at the Pacific Life game summary, and they have a decided edge in play so far. And right now, you were commenting during the break, Ryan Tannehill is the much more effective quarterback of the two. Whedon's been on target for high percentage, but they're not moving the ball consistently.
Yeah, and really the difference has been his ability to manage the pocket, and then of course the 70-yard run was a big deal too.
Iris Gray led 4-3 on 1st and 10, at least 2nd and 7.
You know, Sean, we just had an opportunity to sit down and talk with Tannehill yesterday. What a, just a great kid, nice looking kid. Watching him practice, the ball comes out where it has to be all the time. Both of them are accurate throwers. The difference here is Tannehill has an ability to be able to beat you with your feet as well.
Throws near sideline caught, and then Jeff Fuller went out of bounds after the catch at the 35-yard line. Tannehill's also very smart, already graduated with a degree in biology with a 3.68 GPA.
Ball's where it has to be, and Fuller's a big target. And I played with his dad, Jeff Sr., in San Francisco. He's got that same look about him too. He's got that good look in his eye.
Jeff Sr. was a defensive player, also played here for the Aggies. Tannehill, a deep ball intended for Fuller, again double coverage. Broderick Brown and Markel Martin there for Oklahoma State.
Well, they thought they had a matchup on the outside with Broderick Brown, who's only 5'8". But Markel Martin at number 10, you're going to see a lot of him in the National Football League because he does some things that a lot of safeties don't do. He's got great range, and he can redirect extremely well, and that's really his strength.
2nd and 10, 7 minutes to go in the half. Cyrus Gray with running room. First down. Gain of 11 to the 46-yard line. Run out by Broderick Brown.
That's the decisiveness that Mike Sherman's looking for. Get through the hole. When it's there, take it. Don't hesitate. Patience is good. His runner's patience, but then there's a time to just blow through the hole, and he did it there.
Gray just 27 yards run. Tannehill in trouble after the fake. Got away from Rashedi Jones and found his man Jackson for his first catch of the year. Junior from Navasota, Texas, down the street with an 11-yard gain.
Well, he can thank his first on the feet of Tannehill. Again, his ability to move the run and throw on the run is really good. This is a good player.
From the Cowboy 43, they bring a blitz. Tannehill rolled away from it and throws it away. Thank you, Robert. Ryan Tannehill handed it off straight ahead to Cyrus Gray. Tripped up by Caleb Levy and Nigel Nicholas. Gain to the 38-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
Sean, regardless of the runner, this A&M team has been taking advantage of Brian Thomas, Patrick Lewis, and Shep Klink on the inside. Those interior three, they have been pounding the defense of Oklahoma State.
We should be all the way back to this dog.
Tannehill throws, and a catch made. Randall Jackson, who didn't have a catch all year, has now made 2 on this drive. That one an acrobatic effort. Good for 16 yards to the 22 and a first down.
Able to be patient in the pocket, great protection, and what a nice catch. Just goes up and gets it. Little bit of bobble, make sure he comes down with it.
Texas A&M already leading by 14. In the red zone again now is Cyrus Gray just across the 20. Markel Martin, another tackle for Oklahoma State. We're down to 5:10 remaining in the half and the clock running.
And you start talking about your safeties dropping down. That's not a good sign for the front seven of your defense. You talked a little bit earlier, Sean, about how their linebackers, they felt they had to have them step up and play a little better. And watching them on tape, they do. They're not a real downhill group. Markel Martin, if you're going to have him with his nose around the football up front, you're going to lose him in coverage.
Tannehill in trouble after the fake, drop for a loss of 2. Caleb Levy made the tackle with help from Sean Lewis.
They tried to create a short corner. They're going to give him the old okey doke. They shifted. They took that trips package, moved it to the other side, tried to create a short corner on the left side, but Levy that time, nice play, good read, makes it stop.
Sophomore from Salina, Texas. They produced a lot of good football players in that community north of Dallas. Tannehill zips one, caught. Henrik McNeil taken down near the first down. Looks like the official on the far side of the field is going to give him the forward progress inside the 12 and a first down for A&M.
Well, McNeil almost okey-doked himself. He makes the spin, just get up the field. Then he stops and makes. Now, I'm not sure if he got that, but he got a healthy spot, and they're going to give it to him.
11-yard gain. Tannehill up to 155 yards passing. Deep handoff to Cyrus Gray, and cannot turn the corner. Sean Lewis, sophomore from Missouri City, was a freshman All-American last year, and Bill Young says he has picked off right where he left off, doing a tremendous job for the Cowboy defense.
Yeah, Sean Lewis can run, but makes the tackle, but the play was made up front, looked like by Rashedi Jones, by getting some pressure up inside and forcing him to go wide. Then Lewis is able to make his speed make the tackle. There's Bill Young, defensive coordinator.
Tannehill on 2nd and 15. Swope the intended receiver, went down. Might have slipped. Alex Elkins had the coverage.
Well, better coverage by the 10-yard marker right there. 10-yard line marker. That 3-step and trip, and that turf monster got him. Elkins was on the inside. Sway was going to make another play. Sets up third. Big play right here for Oklahoma State. They've got to be able to stop. They can't give up 7.
14th play of the A&M drive. Very effectively keeping the Oklahoma State offense off the field. Had the ball for more than 5 minutes on 3rd and 15. A little shovel pass ahead to Cyrus Gray, and he's smothered for a loss of 2. So good work by the Oklahoma State defense. After the Aggies penetrated the red zone, Bill Young's defense stood up. Jamie Blatnick and Rashedi Jones, the defensive ends, in on that play. Blatnick's another from Salina, Texas. Stan Lynn, the Penn State quarterback. Adam James.
Yeah, I'm not
Texas Tech.
I'm not so sure that there's a stronger one that come out of there than Jamie Blatnick. That kid is a beast. He's over a 500-pound bencher. There aren't very many of those critters walking the earth, let me tell you. That's a lot of weight to push up.
Benches 500, and he said Jones might be slightly stronger at the other defensive end. He squats about 600 at 268 pounds. Timeout called by Texas A&M. Sean McDonough, Matt Millen, Benine Edwards back at Kyle Field, College Station, Texas. North 90 miles northwest of Houston. Randy Bullock has come off. Texas A&M let the clock run down before calling a timeout, trying to leave Oklahoma State with as little time remaining as possible. This will be a 35-yard field goal drive for Bullock. He's already made one today. And he's made 2 today. 35 yards officially by Bullock, and it's 20-3. Impressive performance all the way around by A&M, particularly on defense. Here's a look at today's Aflac trivia question. We want to know who was the oldest player to win the Heisman Trophy. Topical today because Brandon Weeden has been billed as a Heisman Trophy candidate. He is 27 years old. He'll be 28 next month. Think about the fact he is 2 months older than Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay Packers.
Aaron Rodgers is just a kid.
Relative to Brandon Weeden, he is 2 months younger. A rough half for the offense, only 3 points on the board. Oklahoma State came into today's game having scored in every quarter of the season so far.
Keep in mind, last year these two teams played. Oklahoma State was down by 14, and they came back fast and furious in the second half on the strength of Weeden's arm.
And they won on a last-second field goal to win 38-35. A&M made 5 turnovers last year up in Stillwater to blow that lead. Good kickoff by Bullock. Justin Gilbert didn't try to bring it out. There's a flag down at the 45-yard line.
Offside. Kicking team number 44. 5-yard penalty. Re-kick.
While we have a moment, let's check in with Janine Edwards.
Well, Sean, I've been keeping an eye on the Oklahoma State bench and the offense in particular, and it seems that some of the players have really started to be affected by the heat. Now, the equipment staff has been very busily hooking up these misters to the back of the benches. They told me that the receivers actually asked for them. Justin Blackman in particular seems to be having a hard time with the heat. He's been having the trainers put ice water towels on the back of his neck. He himself has been pouring water down the back of his neck, and I have not seen that type of activity on the other side of the field.
You know, to really make him feel good is a couple more catches. It's funny how you start to feel pretty good.
They did make an announcement over the PA system here to the fans during the last commercial break that they've opened the McFerrin Athletic Center building adjacent to the stadium as a cool zone. The fans are welcome to go in there and try to cool down. It's up to 92 degrees. Here in College Station. So Bullock will kick again. This one's returnable for Justin Gilbert from the 5. Crowd thought there was a clip. They're not going to get a flag thrown, and now Gilbert's off to the races, and now there is a very late flag flying. He's going to take it the distance, but there's a flag back at the 28-yard line. 95 yards. It stands.
During the return, holding receiving team number 3. 10-yard penalty. First down.
They're going to call a hold on Oklahoma State, but they who got away with a block in the back. Lindell
Isaac Massalera called for the hold.
Yeah, and watch right here, Lindell Johnson, number 27. He's going to get a push. That's right there. That's the one they got away with, but they did not get away a hold.
Hard to believe they missed that one. I mean, it was within a couple of feet of the return man. Everybody else in the stadium saw it. Nothing going right for Oklahoma State in this first half. With only 5th kickoff return for a touchdown in Justin Gilbert's career.
They're going to have to get something going, and if they're going to, it's going to be between 2 people. Blackman is one of them right there. He's got to make some plays, and Weeden has not played well here in this first half. And credit that A&M defense.
It's helped the defense that Oklahoma State's had. Is a poor field position. Their average start, their own 14. Starting this time for the 16. Weeden got it off to Josh Cooper. Stacked yard after a 9-yard gain. Clock running, 1:25 left. Oklahoma State is all 3 timeouts. Charlie Thomas and Dustin Harris made the tackle. 2nd and 1. Weeden Under pressure again, got it off to Blackman. He's ridden down by Dustin Harris at the 43-yard line. 1st and 10 Cowboys.
That's a mismatch. If you have Dustin Harris on Justin Blackman with the safety in the middle of the field, you got to take advantage of that.
Under a minute to go after an 18-yard gain. Whedon throws again. Caught and out of bounds goes Josh Cooper, the senior from Mustang, Oklahoma. 1st down into A&M territory. 46-yard line. And a timeout called by A&M.
That's smart. They got to get their short straightened out there, because right now, Sean, they had that rhythm that they've been looking for, that they lost on the last series. They have it going right here.
Tim DeRuyter's defense on its heels and a little bit out of breath, so they use their final timeout of the half on defense. Now the answer to today's Aflac trivia question. Who's the oldest player to win the Heisman Trophy? You got this right last night at our meeting.
Yes, I did. Shockingly.
And similar to Brandon Whedon, former minor league baseball player. Chris Wenke came back to Florida State at age 28 years and 5 months. He won it in 2000 for the Florida State Seminoles. If Brandon Whedon were to win it this year, he'd be the 2nd oldest. A little bit younger than Wenke. He's come out firing on this possession, starting at his own 16, completions of 9, 18, and 11. And still all of their timeouts. Blitz off the corner, and the pass went over the head of Josh Cooper, who stumbled down.
First it was the 10-yard line that had good coverage, and now it's the 40-yard line that had good coverage. Both times the turf monster got him.
Charlie Thomas is down again. He was injured earlier and returned to the game, grabbing at his groin. It's a challenge when you face these blitzes. They blitz a lot of people from a lot of different places. Todd Monken is the offensive coordinator for Oklahoma State in his first year back in Stillwater, working with Mike Gundy. For a while, I was an assistant for a while with the Cowboys under Les Miles. Went off to LSU with Les, then went on to the NFL in Jacksonville. Now back with Oklahoma State. He says facing this Texas defense is like facing the New York Jets 3rd down package on every single play. You know what you're going to get from Rex Ryan, particularly on 3rd down.
Yeah, they give you a lot of different looks, and they try to give you numbers. Sometimes they try to give you numbers. Another time, this Tim DeRuyter, the defense coordinator, they'll give you numbers to a side. Like they might line 5 guys to a side, bring 3. Then they might line 5 guys and bring 2. Then 5 guys and bring 5. So it's all about accounting and taking care of the numbers inside. And at one point, Whedon is going to have to take a shot down the field when he gets his pressure. He's been going to his hots off the top. Now this isn't a hot read on this last one, but he's going to his underneath stuff. At his point, he's going to have to take a shot.
Todd Monken nearest the camera, calling the plays. A little frustrated right now. They have 193 yards of offense, but just the 3 points. Had to march the long field every time. Another blitz off the corner. He got it off, but Cooper couldn't catch it. Lionel Smith had the coverage. 3rd and 10, 44 seconds left in all 3 timeouts left for Oklahoma State. They're out of field goal range right now.
That was the right read by Whedon, and he had time. Just wasn't accurate.
And Cooper did look a little bit tired as he tried to run down that throw. 2 out of 6 on 3rd down. Whedon's going to try to run. Slides down after a 2-yard gain. That doesn't do them much good. Clock runs. Didn't get him into field goal position. And now Mike Gundy has to figure out what to do. They're letting the clock run down. It's 4th down and about 8.
I don't understand at all. That's just poor clock management right there. And actually, Sean, that was a poor play by Brandon Whedon. If you're just going to go 2 yards, throw the ball away. If you're going to take off and run, then take off and run.
We're going to let it run down and either throw a Hail Mary or try to kick a exceptionally long field goal on the last play of the half. And that's what they do. Timeout called with 1 second to go. The clock ran out. But it looked like Mike Gundy had signaled and received the timeout from the official on the sideline. Some of the Aggies have made their way to the locker room.
Oklahoma State, first charge of the first half, 30-second timeout. Timer, please reset the game clock to 3 seconds. 3 seconds on the game clock.
And now I think he'll take a shot into the end zone. Brandon Weeden has not played well here in this first half.
It says a lot about his skills when you're 17 for 23 for 153 yards and a half.
Right.
And it really hasn't been his best effort.
Well, part of it is Tim DeRuyter, the defensive coordinator, has been giving pressure or the illusion of pressure and forcing him to have to go to either hot reads or underneath throws. And then they've been able to defend them. At one point, like I said, he's going to have to trust the protection and take a shot down the field.
So a Hail Mary in all likelihood. And Weeden is sacked to end the half by Sean Porter. Mike Gundy's team on its first possession marched right down the field, 72 yards, 13 plays. They kicked the field goal. Since then, 3 punts, and the half ends a sack on a Hail Mary try. 3 sacks by the Aggie defense. They lead the country in sacks per game. Here's Janine.
Coach Gundy, you knew the pressure was coming, but how can you get something going offensively here?
Well, we've really moved the ball fairly well. 10 yard inside our own 10 twice, and we sputtered out. Then we had 2 15-yard penalties to first ourselves out of it in the first quarter. And then on defense, we're not tackling very well. We've missed about 6 tackles, best I can count, that would have given them or did give them an opportunity to convert drives.
What are you sensing? What's the vibe from your players right now?
Well, we're a mature team. Our guys will rally back. We'll get them going in the second half. We got to get tempo on offense. We have to eliminate penalties, and we have to tackle better.
All right, we'll see you second half, Coach. Thank you.
And the ball team will get the ball first to begin the second half. They love it here at Kyle Field. Texas A&M at the leading number 7 Oklahoma State 20-3. Stay tuned for a complete halftime report after these messages. And we're back at Kyle Field, College Station, Texas. First top 10 head-to-head matchup in the stadium since 1975, and at the half, number 8 Texas A&M leading number 7 Oklahoma State 20-3. 301 yards of offense for A&M. Not a paltry total, Matt, for Oklahoma State. 185. Brandon Weeden's on pace to pass for over 300. Blackman on a pace for 100 receiving. Randall for 100 rushing. But long fields, poor field position. The penalties Coach Gundy mentioned. We probably should mention the A&M defense too.
Yeah, they've played very, very well. And you know, if you watch it today, there's 2 things really that are going on right now. The A&M defense, they've been getting pressure. Tim DeRuyter's been dialing up blitzes. They have been giving up some yards, but it's not been killing them. There's not been any shots down the field. Everything's been in front of the zones. They've been able to defend it. And then Ryan Tannehill is just playing lights out. He's beating them with his feet. He's bought time in the pocket, and he's been accurate with the ball. So this right now is a huge drive. This opening drive for Oklahoma State is a monster. They must get points here.
Randy Bullock will kick it off for A&M. Hubert Antium, Justin Gilbert back for the kickoff for the Oklahoma State Cowboys, and the second half is way. Backpedaling is Gilbert. Wind has actually changed directions, and the breeze was at Bullock's back for that kickoff. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. Ryan Tannehill electrified this crowd just a minute, 1 second into the ball game. And he kept it and went 65 yards for a touchdown. Jeff Fuller on the receiving end of the other touchdown scored by Texas A&M, and Justin Blackman frustrated at time to time. He had a big drop. Caught 4 balls, we said, on a pace for 9 yards. He has 49 yards receiving. They flip it to him coming. It's 2. They flipped it 2 coming across the formation. He got to the 28-yard line. Dustin Harris, Sean Porter made the tackle. A gain of 8. First drive they went down, kicked the field goal, marked 72 yards. Not much sustained offense since then. Whedon, a little bit incomplete, a little bit behind Blackman. He couldn't hang on. Dustin Harris had the coverage. Let's welcome back in Janine Edwards.
Well, thank you, Sherman. I caught up with Mike Sherman at halftime, and he said to me, the one thing I was most happy about is that we got that stop at the end of the first half. He said that could have swung momentum up for us and down for us, and I'm really glad that that didn't happen. He said, my guys are really excited right now. He said, I really like the way they're flying around, but the one point I drove home in the locker room was, hey, you played the first half pretty well, but I know you can do better. I want to see better playing this second series.
Joseph Randall carried for the first down on 3rd and 2. Whedon back very quickly, finds Josh Cooper, and he's dragged across the boundary near the 40-yard line on the far side by Lionel Smith. A&M wasn't really lined up, and Randall runs ahead for the first down to the 44-yard line. Tripped up by Garrick Williams, an inside linebacker in that 3-4 Aggie defense.
And now another Aggie is down, but Sean, you mentioned it. They weren't even lined up. You know, that's from the sideline. That's DeMontre Moore, just outside linebacker, just a young guy. He's just a sophomore and a ton of talent. And they are counting on him to be a big piece of the puzzle in his defense.
We mentioned they had just about every starter back on both sides of the ball, but they lost Von Miller, the outside linebacker, 2-time Big 12 sack leader and the 2nd pick in the entire NFL draft by the Denver Broncos. So that was a big person to replace, and they think DeMontre Moore over time has the talent, perhaps not to be Von Miller, but at least give them the consistent pass rush that they got from Miller.
Yeah, well, the thing that I just watched Von Miller this week in tape, and he does some things natural that you just have. They're just innate. And DeMontre Moore does not quite have what Von Miller has, but he's got some skills that they can take advantage of.
First and 10, Oklahoma State. Had a little rhythm going in the first minute of the quarter. Let's see if they can keep it going after the injury stoppage. Whedon's pass incomplete off the hands of Hubert Anium. Lionel Smith in coverage.
Brandon Whedon, they're doing what Tim DeRute has been doing. He's been blitzing both A gaps. Those are inside blitzes. And Brandon Whedon has not been handling those blitzes very well. He's been getting rid of the ball, not in rhythm. He's been rushing himself.
Same play they ran earlier, the flip ahead to Cooper. Walk the tightrope, and they're going to mark him out at the 48 of A&M, about first yard shy of a first down. It'll be 3rd down and 2. Very quickly back to the ball. Handoff straight ahead to Randall. He lunged the ball forward and might have picked up that first down with that effort. Garrick Williams leg tackled him.
Again, defensively, A&M is not getting lined up. And that's not because they're rotating men. They didn't get the signal in time, and guys are still to the sideline.
Jeremy Smith has come in for Randall and running back. Whedon throws to the 41-yard line. Isaiah Anderson with his first catch of the day and his 4th of the season. Junior from Wichita Falls, Texas.
Still no shots down the field. They're just patiently working the underneath coverage.
Even without Coriel Judy, preseason all-conference cornerback, A&M doing a nice job on Justin Blackman. Josh Stewart down the sideline, apparently still in bounds, and all the way down to the 12-yard line. They'll mark him near the 13. Tackled by Jonathan Stewart. First catch of the day by the true freshman Josh Stewart. Good for 28 yards.
Right, good strength right here. Just run right through the tackle. Well done.
Impressive drive by the Cowboys, and it ends with a touchdown by Jeremy Smith.
Well, you heard Mike Gundy tell Janine at halftime that they had to do some things, and one of those was have some consistency offensively, and they did it in that series. They went right down the field, mistake-free, and scored.
80 yards in 11 plays, just over 2.5 minutes to do it. Smith's fourth rushing touchdown of the season. The extra point just did sneak inside the right upright for Quinn Sharp. Impressive start to the second half for Oklahoma State, back within 10. Jeremy Smith, the touchdown, capping an 80-yard drive to open the second half for Oklahoma State. Excellent balance. They rushed for 40 yards, threw for 40. Well, 8 straight games now with a rushing touchdown for the sophomore from Tulsa.
Sean, that was a monster drive for them. They needed that for a lot of reasons, the least of which is to get the confidence back in their side that they can do it.
Quinn Sharp kicks off. Good one. Lands the back of the end zone. Cyrus Gray didn't try to field it. That play in the Clemson game will definitely be in the
yikes,
not top 10 Sports Center plays of the week.
You're exactly right.
With our main man, John Buchagras.
That could be a come on man.
Broken play here. Tannehill confused, elected to just pull it down and turned it into a gain of a half yard or so. First possession of the second half for Texas A&M, not off to a very good start.
And just like Oklahoma State had to start with a big score to start this half, defensively they need to stop them here to get the ball back for their offense.
Straight back, Tannehill threw it into a well-covered spot, but Wachiku made the catch with Justin Gilbert all over him. Nice catch by Wachiku, the junior for Allen, Texas. Good for a first down to the 31.
That's a pretty good route by Wachiku, and then comes back to the ball. Back to the ball is right where it has to be, and he makes sure he secures it.
10-yard gain. Tannehill out of the gun now. Throws to the near side. Caught by Jeff Fuller. Just the third catch of the day for Fuller. Good for a 6-yard gain to the 37. It'll be 2nd and 4. Broderick Brown the stop.
I think a lot of people know about Jeff Fuller. And they should, because that's a talented kid. He'll be playing on a lot of Sundays, but boy, he has great range.
A&M's all-time leader in receptions. Receiving touchdowns. He'll have the yardage record soon. Cyrus Gray stopped short of the first down. Got a yard, and that's all.
Take a good look at Jeff Fuller. You can see he's got great range, and when the ball's in the air, he can just pluck it out. And the thing that's impressive about him, he's not afraid to go inside. He's very good in traffic. Now, he's a long strider, and what that means at the line of scrimmage, when you get press man coverage, that's where he's really going to have to work on his game, particularly at the next level.
5 wide, your 1 for 2. It'll be a run for Tannehill here. Well, he wants to throw and throws incomplete. Looking for Kenrick McNeil cutting across the middle of the field.
He would want that one back because he had McNeil with the defender behind him. It's wide open to the middle of the field. Watch McNeil. He's clear right there. Oh, boy, he wants that one back. About a half a step inside, and he knows it. But conversely, that's a stop for Oklahoma State.
They'll get that ball back after the punt by Ryan Epperson, just his second punt of the day. This is a good one. Josh Cooper fielded it at the 10, made the first man miss, but not the second, third. And he's down to the 11-yard line. Once again, a long field for the Oklahoma State offense. They've already gone 80 yards to that here in the second half. Can they go 89? Look at the century tree right in the center of this beautiful Texas A&M campus. Among other things, the site of numerous marriage proposals over the years. Starting to tighten up inside Kyle Field. It was a 17-point lead for the homestanding Aggies. Down to 10. We go down to Janine Edwards.
Well, Sean, you and Matt have been all over some of the frustration and confusion on the Aggies defense with the signals being called, and I saw that on the bench just a few moments ago. Trent Hunter in particular, very frustrated, very upset, not getting the plays, and one of the assistants said, I will do a better job. I will make sure I am where you can easily see me.
Well, it's hard. You have very little time. You're trying to figure out what Oklahoma State's personnel groupings are going to be.
Right.
A lot of pressure on those defensive coaches. They've done a terrific job today. They've held Oklahoma State to 10 points. Came in averaging 52 per game. Four-man rush. Brandon Weeden throws. Cooper's open again. He's been the star this beginning of the second half for the Cowboys. 11-yard gain, first down. And they are over the ball in an instant and ready to go. Hubert Anium, 11 more in a first down.
And the quick pace. And so here's what happens. So the first thing you do is you look to the sideline, see what your personnel grouping you're going to get. And then you have to get the call out into your safeties right away. He has Hunter because he has to relay it back and echo it to both sides of the field.
2 plays, 2 first downs for Oklahoma State. Weeden after the fake throws deep and batted away by Terrence Frederick. Good coverage on Hubert Anium.
I've been waiting for that, Sean. You and I have been talking about that. At one point, you're going to have to take a shot and trust your protection. Anium's on top. Could have been a better throw, but good coverage by Frederick, number 7. See, the official dropped his hat right there. That meant he went out of bounds, but then he reestablished himself back inbounds.
Jonathan Rush, starting left guard, injured for Oklahoma State. As they take a look at him, we'll take a timeout, return to College Station, Texas, right after this. Good news is Jonathan Rush walked off the field under his own power. Sure, that's a relief to his dad, David Rush, a civilian, works for the State Department.
Got him engaged, working against Mathis, 92, and right there it looked like he just even hyperextended. Now all the linemen, Sean, wear those knee braces, but they don't protect everything.
Jonathan's dad serving in a logistical security specialist. Jonathan has a brother in the Army in Afghanistan.
Number 73, 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Levy Adcock, the right tackle. Jonathan Rush says he's worried about his time, obviously worried about his dad and brother in Iraq and Afghanistan. Sure, they're worried if they're able to watch the game via satellite over there today about John. He does not look to be in extraordinary pain on that sideline. 2nd and 15. Oklahoma State's already scored a touchdown in the third quarter. Weeden throws a little bit too far in front of his intended receiver for Tracy Moore. And where is Justin Blackman?
Yeah, I'm two things shock me. Not going to Justin Blackman and Sean. They do not throw the ball in the middle of the field. I mean, everything is outside for safe throws. That's surprising to me, particularly with a guy of Weeden's abilities.
Blackman has not had a catch here in the second half. 3rd and 15. 5-man blitz. Weeden has time. Frills in the middle of the field. Caught by Blackman. First down.
Answered both of them on one play. Middle of the field to Blackman. They need to get Dustin Blackman dialed in. You're going to give him man coverage outside or one-on-one. You've got to go to him.
19-yard gain and huge. It continues to thrive. Can they continue with their momentum that they have here at the beginning of the second half? Joseph Randall picked his way to the 45 of Texas A&M. Tackles Charlie Thomas and Terrence Frederick, and Weeden has them up immediately over the ball. And A&M wasn't really lined up. Hubert Anium Pulled down by Trent Hunter along the far sideline. Help from Caleb Russell.
Sean, I think this is one of the problems in college football right now. Coaching has become such a huge part in all of signal calling. You watch these defenders, they just look to the sideline. Get rid of that. Call it on the field. Empower your players on the field. Right now, that's working against them.
11-yard gain for a first down on the previous play. Annium again, shoved out by Lionel Smith. We're going to mark him out at the 26. Flag on the play.
After the runner went out of bounds, personal foul, unnecessary roughness on a defense number 11. Half the distance to the goal, automatic, first down.
Well, just watch it at the end. Jonathan Stewart, number 11.
I mean, really, why?
He knew it. I don't know why he did it. That didn't make any sense at all. He's a better player than that.
Jeremy Smith in a running back now. First and 10, Oklahoma State. Poised to make it a one-score game. They give it to Smith. They slid ahead to the 10. Pickup of 3. Eric Williams made the tackle. Senior inside linebacker from DeSoto, Texas.
See those cards going up. They're signaling everything in. You see the defenders all looking to the sideline. Once they get the signal, then they go back, and then it's been slow coming in, and they haven't been able to get lined up, and that's been a problem here today.
Brandon Whedon throws to the end zone, and it is no signal yet. The officials now say incomplete. Intended for Justin Blackman. He seems to think he had it for a touchdown. The officials do not concur.
There's the catch. Feet are in. Oh boy. You have to maintain control all the way through the catch. But it looks like he has it all the way through the catch, and then he's pushed.
And the ball comes out just as he went to put his hand down.
When he hits the ground. I don't know about that one.
And a ball, ordinarily you would expect him to secure all the way to the ground.
Sean, the fact that the defender pushed him, he would have held that ball. He would have held that ball and just run out of bounds. Now, because the defender pushed him and forced him down, and the ball comes out. That's an interesting one.
But he's still holding the ball in his hand like a loaf of bread rather than trying to tuck it.
Agreed. That's poor fundamentals.
You know, he has
4
big,
points
strong
of pressure.
hands, but still.
He snatches it nice, and his feet are in. Clearly, it's a catch in the end zone. Okay, so as of right there, it's a touchdown. Now he pulls the thing up, and the defender pushes him to the ground, and as he goes down with the ball, that's when it hits the ground. That's when it comes out.
His foot is in.
He actually gets both feet in, and he has control.
Right there. It's gone to the replay booth. And it's a very anxious crowd on both sides waiting for Scott Novak to on his microphone and tell us what's happening.
Lost in all this was good protection and a heck of a throw by Whedon. That's a low point, you know, low ball outside where only Blackman can make the catch.
Terry Turlington is the replay official. We're told from our truck they are looking to see if he controlled it throughout the catch. Mike Sherman, regardless, Matt, I think has to be a little worried here. The momentum of the game clearly turned, and that offense is starting to get into a rhythm. Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator for Oklahoma State, told us the other day offense is all about rhythm. And when A&M, with all those blitzes and strange defensive alignments, try to take you out of rhythm. Right now, Mike Gundy's team has found its rhythm.
And the reason they found the rhythm is because when A&M has been bringing pressure, they've been able to pick it up and then inside. Nice job by the backs of picking up blitzes, and everybody's been able to give the quarterback time to throw.
After review, the receiver had control of the ball when he was in the end zone with the foot down in the end zone. He was then stepped out of bounds and contacted, but before that possession was made, it is going to be a touchdown.
Right call. And he said it right, Sean, when he said because of the contact.
7 minutes,
it's the second part of that. That was the crucial evidence that they were able to find. And then Blackman with a big play. Nice throw, though, by Whedon.
So it's a touchdown. Second of this quarter, which isn't even halfway through. For Oklahoma State, they've come from 20-3 down, extra point away from making it 20-17. Quinn Sharp for the extra point. And it is good. 10-yard touchdown pass. Drives of 80 and now 89 yards in this third quarter, engineered by Brandon Whedon.
Well, Sean, you said, could they do it from 89? The answer is yes. And the way they've done it has been first protection, and then Whedon has been pinpoint accuracy. They got the nice run up the middle with Smith, and then an 89-yard drive on third down, a big to Blackman, and then in the end zone for 6. Whedon's been protected out. The ball's been out fast, and we said they had to get Blackman into this game, and they've done it in a big way. It's funny how fast things change. Remember a year ago, down by 14 at the half, and they came back and won a doozy up at Oklahoma State.
This one's by 5 turnovers by A&M. Nightmarish day for Gerard Johnson, the quarterback last year, 4 interceptions and a lost fumble. So Quinn Sharp kicked off. And you can feel the anxiety in the crowd. Stephen Campbell started out of the end zone and then put the brakes on.
All right, Sean, it's time for that offensive line to start taking over what they did in the first half.
Kristen Michael on first down. 4-yard run. Caleb Levy made the tackle. A&M in need of a ball control drive with the defense on the field virtually throughout this entire third quarter, and clearly rattled and on their heels at the moment. Crowd very quiet now as Tannehill took the snap on 2nd and 6, has a man wide open up the middle of the field. Henrik McNeil lost the football as he was tackled. And Oklahoma State has it. Daquan Lowe punched it out, and Justin Gilbert recovered.
Daquan Lowe, number 8, that's a big play. And Sean, you just got done talking about the game a year ago and how it came down to turnovers. And here it is right there, the ball, head right on the ball. And Markel Martin and Justin Gilbert are right there. Gilbert, of course, comes up with it.
There were 8 turnovers in the game last year. It's 2 water between these two teams. 5 committed by Texas A&M in Oklahoma State's 38-35 win. It's the first turnover for either team today after a 33-yard gain. McNeil lost the fumble. Now a touchdown would give Oklahoma State the lead. And Whedon pass out of the reach of Cooper. Here's Janine Edwards.
Well, guys, just a quick update on left guard Jonathan Rush for the Cowboys. He is out of the game now. He's got a sprained left knee. And the offensive line coach was just telling his guys, look, they are going to come hard now to that left side without Rush in there. Heads up.
Mike Gundy's on the field as you look at Jonathan Rush. They've stopped this thing right now. They got a defender down now. With all the things going on with the New York Giants this past week against the hurry up, I think that's what Gundy is complaining about. Although that's Eddie Brown, number 39, the nose tackle. They're saying, do you fake injuries? Do you not fake injuries? And I think that would be the opinion of Mike Gundy, to slow the pace down, because they've been doing a great job of that up tempo and catching Texas A&M not being ready.
Eddie Brown Jr., terrific defensive lineman. It's up, gets up and runs off under his own power.
One time it happens. Let's see if we have a trend. We have a trend, then we got a problem.
By far the this field position of the day for the Cowboys. First time they've started beyond their own 20. And they took over at the 44 after the made by Kendrick McNeil. Oklahoma State has not led in this game much, trailed by as much as 20-3 in the first half. Joseph Randall.
Here's third down right here, Sean. Big third down for both sides. Big for A&M to turn this field position back, and big for Oklahoma State because they could get, they could turn this thing right into a lead.
4 receivers for Oklahoma State. Here comes a blitz. They get nowhere near Whedon. Throws across the middle. Blackman has work to do, and he got the first down. Dragged Lionel Smith with him to the 45-yard line of A&M. First and 10, a 9-yard gain on 3rd and 8.
You have to watch Blackman come all the way across. And when you come all the way across, you have to have good protection. It takes a long time to develop. They protected well and got it out.
They're 4 for 4 on 3rd down in this quarter. Joseph Randall got stood up at the 39, still good for a 6-yard run. Charlie Thomas made the tackle. Now there's an injured Oklahoma State Cowboy.
Can't quite see the number. Can you see it, Sean?
I believe it's Grant Garner, center.
Ooh, that hurts. That hurts. I mean, Jonathan Rush hurts. Grant Garner's, that guy is, every snap has to be perfect.
Grant Garner back on his feet, walking off under his own power. Casey LeBrew, a senior, comes in to take his place. Oklahoma State has already run 25 plays in this quarter. There's still 5:37 to go. Second and 4. Porter lined up as if to blitz. And a flag thrown for pass interference as Dustin Harris had coverage on Hubert Anium.
I'm not so sure that was a catchable ball, Sean.
On a defense number 22. 15-yard penalty. First down.
It's Dustin Harris. They make the call, but tell me if this is A, catchable, and B, I wonder if that doesn't look like that's a catchable ball.
There's clearly pass interference. I think if in doubt, you have to throw the flag, and he might have been able to catch that in bounds.
Yeah, never mind.
The walk-off goes down 20 to the 24-yard line. Pistol formation now. Whedon throws it to Blackman. Whoa. He took a shot as he went out of bounds at 16-yard line. Stephen Campbell, known as a hard hitter, came flying across that at the end of that play.
Well, the one thing you know about Justin Blackman is that's a nice shot, but he is just as good with the ball in his hands.
Ball starts on the offense. Number 81. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Been called for the penalty. That catch a moment ago is his 4th of the quarter.
Two of his catches here in this third quarter have been big on 3rd down that have kept drives going.
Under 5 minutes to go. Third quarter. Joseph Randall went in motion. Empties the backfield. 4 receivers to the left. Whedon takes the short throw to Randall. Good tackle by Terrence Frederick. He was a high school teammate of Trent Hunter, their fine safety. Frederick was on his way to go play in Louisville, and Trent Hunter told the A&M coaches, I have a teammate who's pretty good. I'll show you a tape. And saw a tape and made him an offer right before the signing day. Decommitted from Louisville. Anium the catch. He has a first down inside the 10-yard line. Grant Garner is back into the ball game center for Oklahoma State, and the Cowboys now poised to take the lead for the first time today.
Short field. This is an area where you can expect pressure and tighter man-to-man coverage because you don't have the deep field to defend.
Primarily they love fades to Blackman down close. Randall up the middle to the 4-yard line. Second and goal upcoming with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, dominated by the Cowboys.
This whole drive is brought to you by the turnover by McNeil.
A&M defense has to be gassed. They've been on the field virtually the entire quarter. Whedon back of the end zone, caught. Touchdown. And Tracy Moore in the lead for the first time today for Oklahoma State.
That's a heck of a catch. Here we go, Sean. It's kinesthetic sense. The ability to have body part awareness. Just look at that. Now get your foot down. Nicely done. That's as good as it gets. Go a little high where he can see it, and then have the wherewithal to come down in inbounds.
4-yard pass as they go 56 yards in 9 plays. 3 touchdowns in the quarter, and they lead 24-20 after Oklahoma State trailed 20-3 at the half. Up to Brandon Whedon, up to 322 yards passing. 2 touchdowns thrown by Whedon.
And in these last few drives, Sean, he has been using the middle of the field and Justin Blackman. Blackman with 2 huge catches on third down that kept drives alive, and then excellent protection by the offensive line to give Whedon the time to be able to make those throws.
Oklahoma State has run 30 plays from scrimmage in this quarter. A&M 7. Squib kick by Quinn Sharp. Whoa. Indecision by Stephen Campbell. He finally took a knee.
I wonder if he touched that goal line.
It is going to be a touchback. Some anxious moments for the Aggie fans.
Yeah, if you declare that, no, he does not touch it. You can just see just a tad there. If once you step in that line, declares that you're going to start coming out, and he doesn't get it. Missed it by that much.
And then Molina counseling him the entire way to stay in the end zone. So it's poor field position for Oklahoma State, the big story in the first half. Now it is for A&M here in the second half. All 3 possessions in this quarter started from the Aggies 20. Here's Michael for the flag down. He's down after a 3-yard pickup. Tackled by Alex Elkins.
Personal foul. Chop block on the offense. Number 76. Half the distance of the ball. First down.
With Jokel, the left tackle. And a good player. First team preseason all Big 12.
Yeah, you can see him right here. Remember, a chop block guy has to be engaged, and then you cut him. And that's a good call.
Jump chop for Shetty Jones to the ground. High formation now behind Ryan Tannehill. His pass thrown up for grabs. And it is intercepted. Broderick Brown won the battle for football at the 23-yard line with Jeff Fuller And you have to be strong to rip it away from Jeff Fuller, but he did.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense, number 19. 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot. Oklahoma State keeps the ball. First down.
Second turnover of the quarter committed by A&M.
Yeah, Broderick Bulldog Brown, number 19. You can see what happened. Fuller falls to the ground, and Brown, hey, nicely done, though. He's able to come back on that ball and wrestle it away because that's a powerful man he stole it from.
Second interception of the season for Brown. That'll help from Sean Lewis to clear Fuller off the top. But that penalty hurts. They were already in field goal range right where he made the interception. Now they're not, back at the 38-yard line. And can they keep it rolling offensively? They've scored 3 touchdowns in this quarter. Whedon over the middle. Blackman finds the middle again. Retreats away from first down yardage. Then got it back as he took Dustin Harris for a long ride. Will they mark it a first down? Yes, they will. 11-yard gain to the 27.
They are finding that deep end right in front of the safety. And Whedon now has gone to Blackman in that same spot about 4 or 5 times.
For 15th time in the last 16 games that Blackman's had 100 yards plus receiving. Bolton Chelf the catch. 13 the yard line. They'll give him the 12. 14 yards. First down. Oklahoma State.
One of 2 things have happened here. Either Oklahoma State's offensive has really picked it up in protection, or Texas A&M is just dog-tired and can't get there because they've not gotten any pressure in this whole quarter.
They've been on the third the entire quarter on a day with the temperature in the 90s. Its calendar says it's fall, but it certainly still feels like summer here in College Station, Texas. Randall a short gain to the 10. 2nd and 8 to come. They can get another first down near the 2. Touchdown would give them a 2-score lead. It would be huge for A&M if they could force a field goal try at the very least. 5 receivers, 3 to the left. Brandon Whedon.
Good protection.
Entire rushers, and Blackman has the ball. Lost it before it got into the end zone. Oh my goodness, a disastrous play by Blackman. Sloppy with the ball again. And it is a touchback.
Sean, you mentioned it on the touchdown that they had earlier when he fumbled it and they reviewed it. Put the ball away. Make the catch. There are 4 points that you have to have. One with your hand, then with your forearm, then against your body. That is not well done.
Nope. I mean, tuck it under your arm. They think it's a touchdown, and then they realize in the coach's booth he lost the ball before he got across the goal line. Just no excuse for that. I mean, he's a great player, but that's not the way you carry the football.
Put
no
it
matter
away.
how big your hands are, no matter how strong they are, put the ball away. That could be a big momentum changer in this ball game. Chance to take an 11-point lead. Looked like for sure they were. He was going to walk into the end zone. Lost it. And now life on the A&M sideline. And Tannehill wants a deep ball for Fuller. All covered by Broderick Brown.
Ooh, but I like that though, Sean. He went right after Broderick Brown again after he'd gotten the pick. And Fuller wanted a piece of him. Tannehill gave it to him. Good coverage, however, by Brown.
Here's a look again at the fumble.
Yeah, for all you young receivers out there, once you make the catch, secure the ball. Like Sean said, it doesn't matter how strong your hands are, how powerful you are.
Well, what's he trying for? Style points? What is the point in running like that?
Well,
unless you're just showboating.
You just need to put that thing away. Your hand is the first point. Your forearm is the second point. Your elbow is the third point. And the inside of your body on your side is your 4 point. 4 points of pressure with the football.
3rd down and 5 here for A&M. Tannehill hit as he throws, and it is picked off. Third turnover of the quarter committed by A&M. Justin Gilbert the interception. And the return to the 34-yard line. Second interception of the season for the sophomore from Huntsville, Texas, Justin Gilbert.
Tannehill, his feet didn't save him this time. You got James Thomas, 22, coming on a blitz, and he's going to try to get it out there to Fredericks, but he does not see the sinking corner, and Justin Gilbert sinks right into a pick.
No turnovers in the first half and 301 yards of offense for Mike Sherman's team. 3 turnovers, no points, just 59 yards of offense in this quarter. Cowboys offense back on the wheel. They're after Whedon, setting up a screen, and it is snuffed out. Randall hit immediately for a loss by Demontre Moore. Back to the 40-yard line. Lost 6. And the crowd trying to get back into it. Here's urged by players on the sideline. Many of the fans on their feet now. Of course, the students throughout the entire game. In a tradition that dates back to the 1920s. Second and 16. Again, a heavy rush and a wide open receiver. Josh Cooper inside the 10. Banged out by Stein Campbell at the 9.
Josh Cooper and Swope for A&M. They are invaluable. They know their offense. They know their role. They make play after play. Whenever you call their number, they always respond. I'm really impressed by both of them.
Same number. The same skill set. 10 catches today for Cooper, matching the number Blackman has. Joseph Randall carries to the 4-yard line on the final play of the quarter. A quarter dominated by Oklahoma State. They outscored A&M in the third 21-0. And 2 top 10 teams going toe-to-toe in College Station, Texas. 7th-ranked Cowboys leading the 8th-ranked Aggies by 4. Dramatic turnaround in this game in the third quarter. Texas A&M led 20-3 at the half. But Oklahoma State leads as we go to the fourth quarter. 24-3. Shades of a year ago when Oklahoma State and Stillwater trailed the Aggies by 14 at the half and scored 21 unanswered points in the third quarter. Wound up with 30 game, 38-35 on a field goal at the gun. They're poised to take a 2-score lead now for the first time. Second and goal from the 4. Joseph Randall running right, running into trouble. Eddie Brown Jr., Demontre Moore.
That
Good
was
defense.
Yeah, poor and poor by Randall. Tried that time, tried to bounce it, and he's not going to outrun this Aggie defense, particularly to the corner when they're playing that well.
An enormous play right here. Huge difference between the touchdown and a field goal. Field goal would be just a 1-score game going forward. Jeremy Smith in at running back with his nose for the end zone.
Looks like we got man up top with Blackman.
All out blitz right up the middle. They hit Whedon and his pass is incomplete. Looking for Blackman. And they will send the field goal team on. So a big stop by the A&M defense.
You got Hunter coming clean. That ball needed to be down a little bit lower because Blackman had beaten him with position, and had the ball been down a little bit more, he had a chance for 6. Good defense by the Aggies.
24-yard field goal try by Quinn Sharp. From the right hash mark, sharp angle, and he just did get it inside that left upright. No pun intended on the sharp angle thing. He's 2 for 2 today, 8 out of 9 for the year, and it's a 7-point lead for the Cowboys at Oklahoma State.
Sean, that's going to be a great one. Geno, he's been throwing the ball all over the place, but LSU secondary, I think, the best in the country.
Touchback by Quinn Sharp, who led the nation in that category each of the last 2 years. What an awful third quarter for Texas A&M. They went punt, fumble by Kendrick McNeil, and then 2 interceptions on their 4 possessions.
Yeah, is exactly what they didn't want to have happen. And there was, a little bit of pressure, and that's good defense. And then another one just had the misfortune of Fuller falling down. And Bulldog Brown came down with the pick.
A&M had 59 yards of offense in the third quarter, while Oklahoma State had 275. The Cowboys ran 37 plays from scrimmage in the third quarter alone, as many as they ran in the entire first half. Tannehill slow to get up after the incomplete pass. 2nd and 10.
Sean, right now, I got to tell you, this offensive line, which early in the game was dominant, gave lots of time to Tannehill and opened a lot of running lanes. Right now, that defensive front of Oklahoma State is taking it to him.
And they continue to do just that. Tannehill sacked by Rashedi Jones.
Rashedi Jones, the other half of that bookend that you talked about earlier about the 500-pound benchers. There's not a lot of guys who can do that. Blatnick, number 50, he can do it. Rashedi Jones uses his 500-pound bench right there and just does a nice job on Jokel to tackle with power.
Loss of 5, 3rd and 15. A&M in dire need of something good to happen on offense, just to stay on the field if for no other reason. Tannehill has his man Swope, and he got leveled by Markel Martin, and they throw a flag on that hit.
They needed a big play, and it was brought to them by two things. First of all, they had decent protection. Tannehill bought a little time.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on a defense number 10, targeting 15 yards from the dead ball spot. First down.
And then Swope, of course, is the other half of that equation with the big play. Gets on top of the coverage, and because he has time to make the throw, he hits him perfectly. Swope makes the catch, and then he gets drilled. Looked like he hit him right in the chest. Watch Swope working right there in the slot. Markel Martin's going to come. That's a tough call. I'm not going to say anything because I'm not a.
Well, he does hit, but right under.
But Swope is trying to duck, and the defender's trying to make the tackle, and that's one of those things. That's a tough one.
In today's football, that's going to be flagged every time.
Yeah.
Loves it. And the crowd loves it as Swope gets back up.
That Swope's a flare. Ryan Swope's just a junior, about 210 pounds. Does a lot of things well. Line him up in the backfield, in the slot, outside. Catches the ball well, runs with it, can block. It's a good all-around football player.
25-yard gain, and you add on the 15-yard penalty. And a huge change of events on 3rd down and 15. They keep the ball. They're at the 45 of Oklahoma State. 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. Tannehill whistles before
False
the
start
snap.
on the offense. Number 33. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Kristen Michael, the running back.
In the first half, both Cyrus Gray and Kristen Michael, we heard a lot of them. In the second half, we haven't heard anything from the running game. A peep.
They're asking a bunch of questions. Swope trying to see if he has a concussion. Cyrus Gray, the running back now. 4 wide receivers. Ryan Tannehill. Goes short over the middle. Kendrick McNeil, who had that huge fumble in the third quarter, hands on to the 39-yard line. Here's Robert Flores.
Of Florida, 28-24.
And here on a delay, the handoff to Cyrus Gray, and he lost yardage. Back to the 40-yard line. Now set up 3rd down and 5 for A&M, down by a touchdown. 3 minutes into the fourth quarter.
Good call there by the defensive coordinator of Bill Young of the Oklahoma State Cowboys. They brought the blitz, and Levy is able to make the tackle for a loss. Sets up 3rd. Big down here.
They rush 5. Tannehill down the middle, incomplete. Fans want a flag for pass interference. McNeil covered by James Thomas, who's saying, I didn't interfere. And there is no flag. 4th down and 5, and with 11:45 to go, Mike Sherman is going to send the punt team on.
James Thomas wasn't so sure right away when he first got up because he gave the quick look to see if there was a flag, and then after nothing happened, that's when he gave the shake off.
Ryan Epperson into punt. It is the kind of field position. Sometimes you might fake it, but they don't. And they tried to down it inside the 1, and they could not. Touchback. Oklahoma State will have the ball from its own 20 with a 7-point lead. 11.5 to go when we come back. Look inside the Sam Houston Sanders Corps Cadet Center here on the campus of A&M. Museum that traces the history and traditions of the Corps Cadets from their inception in 1876 right up until today. Sean McDonough, Matt Millen, and Janine Edwards here in College Station. Let's send you down to Janine.
Well, Sean, I've been keeping an eye on Coriel Judy. You know, the defense's best player here for the Aggies, who's had to stump this one out with the hamstring injury, and he's been pacing back and forth for the last 10 minutes, just shaking his head. Would love to be out there on the field. And in the meantime, his teammates in the secondary have been taking a beating. Dustin Harris has had cramps, and Trent Hunter has an ankle issue. Both of those guys have been tended to by the trainers.
1st and 10, Oklahoma State. Flag down before the snap, false start. And against the Cowboys, will back him up 5 immediately.
False start on the offense. Number 73, 5-yard penalty. First down.
This is the 6th possession of the second half for Oklahoma State. They should have scored on every one. They started with 3 straight touchdowns. Then they had Blackman's fumble at the 1-yard line going in for a touchdown. And he was just sloppy with the ball, to say the least. Then they kicked the field goal the last time they had. 4-man rush. Whedon got it off. There's another flag down. Josh Cooper, the intended receiver.
Offside. Defense. Number 94. Lined up in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Montre Moore. So it's back to 1st and 10, right where they started at the 20-yard line. False start, then an offside. They cancel each other out. 11.5 minutes remaining. Brandon Whedon, then a 4-man rush. Short completion of Hubert Anium, but plenty of run after the catch. Out of bounds at the 40-yard line. A gain of 20, first down. Trent Hunter knocked him out of bounds.
Anium in a nice transition, boy. As soon as he caught that ball, he hit another gear and up that left sideline.
Anium again. Fought hard for 4 yards to the 44. Stopped again by Trent Hunter and Lionel Smith. Anium wants a breather.
They've been throwing a lot of underneath stuff all day long, but they've gotten their big chunk plays to Blackman on that deep end. Comes pressure again.
Cooper the catch. First, they're down. They're cross midfield to the 46 of A&M. Over 400 yards passing. He started the day as the only quarterback in the country. He's thrown for at least 360 yards in every game this year. Quick barter to the far side of the field to Michael Harrison. Sean made the tackle at the 42, a pickup of 4.
A&M still did not solve the problem of getting ready at the line of scrimmage.
Todd Monken says offense is about rhythm. They are in a serious rhythm right now. Michael Harrison again lunges near another first down inside the 40-yard line.
Those short things only work if your other receivers help you in the blocking game, and Oklahoma State's receivers have been blocking really well today.
Jonathan Stewart is the injured player, linebacker for A&M. Whedon on this drive is 5 for 5.
What a difference in Brandon Whedon. Look at that. 25 out of 31 for 264 yards. In the first half, did not look as comfortable. In the second half, this offense has captured some confidence. and they are on a roll. You talked about it, Sean, with getting in a rhythm. They're in a full dance.
Well, he's on the verge of breaking his own single game Oklahoma State passing yardage mark, which is 435 yards against Baylor last year when he went 34 of 42 for 435.
He'll continue to throw those outside things, but it's either there's one coming, and this is the area of the field where it happens. You're either going to take a shot down the field or that deep in.
Third down, 1 yard to go. Huge play here. We approach 10 minutes remaining. Late substitution again for A&M. Jeremy Smith, the running back, lined up in the pistol behind Whedon. And they give it to him. And he has the first down and more. Wrestled down by Trent Hunter. First and 10 Oklahoma State at the A&M 24-yard line. They're in field goal range, and that would be huge.
Nicely done by the right side of that offensive line. Lane Taylor, number 68. You see him right there. You see Grant Garner's back in. That's a well-done job. Parker Graham, 71. They got a nice push, and he's able to cut it back.
It's off the corner. Smith ran right by it to the 20-yard line before he's driven back by Charlie Thomas and Garrick Williams.
Sean, if you're sitting at home, you may be thinking, what is the difference in the first half to the second half with this defense? And a lot of times when you bring blitzes, it's feast or famine. Sometimes you'll hit it perfect, you'll get a sack, you'll get a tackle for a loss, and sometimes it gets you. In the second half, it's been getting them.
Now Whedon with the lead and in scoring position again, running a little more time off the play clock before these last couple of snaps. Anium thrown out of bounds short of the first down at the 16-yard line, shoved out by Tyrell Taylor, true freshman backup linebacker on the field now for A&M.
Nicely done again. Josh Stewart, a nice block. These Oklahoma State receivers, they are helping each other out a lot on the outside by blocking down the field.
Another 3rd and 1. Smith had to bounce the outside, and he is stopped at the 18-yard line by Garrick Williams and Trent Hunter. Now a late flag thrown as bodies got tangled outside the 20-yard line.
Ooh, it looks like it's going against the Aggies. Whedon was pretty happy with what he heard.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness on a defense, number 94.
Oh, boy.
Half the distance of the goal. First down.
Monty Moore. Wow. What a horrible time to do that. They were in field goal range, and they have a terrific kicker in Quinn Sharp, but it wasn't a guaranteed 3 points. Now they're going to move the ball to the 9-yard line, 1st and goal. So instead of a field goal attempt, the drive continues and the clock continues to run. And the Cowboys with a new life as they try to make it a 2-touchdown lead.
Sean, don't beat yourself is rule number 1, and they violated the rule with DeMontre Moore.
They've done it the entire half with the turnovers. Now the very costly penalty. Randall down to the 5-yard line. There's another injured Aggie on the play. Jonathan Mathis is down after the tackle by Garrick Williams. On the starting defensive end. Timeout. 7:42 to go. You know, looks like just a cramp for Jonathan Mathis. He walked off the field, understandable, on this very hot day with the temperature in the 90s, as long as that defense has been on the field. Still on the field. 2nd and goal, Oklahoma State already leading by 7. They've come from 20 to 3 down at the half. The score 24 on 8 points. And poised for more. Whedon, the inside handoff to Randall. And the Aggies defense stopped for a 1-yard gain, led by Eddie Brown. And that penalty, at the very least, is going to cost Texas time, valuable time, as the clock continues to run down to 7:20 left.
Right. Big play right here for the Aggies. They have to stop him.
Whedon throws it up high. Beckman bounced out of bounds, apparently short of the end zone.
That's good defense. You see how they all converged, meet at the point, and knocked him out of bounds. He had blockers out in front of him. He's going to try to sneak it in along the right side, but watch the power come right there.
Hunter and Frederick, big decision now for Mike Gundy. An injured A&M player. Looks like Frederick might be cramping. You have to kick the field goal, don't you? I mean,
you think you would take
two-score lead?
Your 10 points. The way your defense has been playing pretty well. A&M has not had any kind of rhythm here in the second half. You get your 2 scores and some trust that your offense, if they get the ball back again, can do something with it. Because the second half here, this Oklahoma State offense has looked like, I tell you, it's looked like Jordan Oliver, the NCAA champion from Oklahoma State wrestling, which of course is starting soon. The wrestling season starts.
Of course.
Little J.O. as he's called. Yeah. And funny you should ask. And they are a machine right now.
Let's see if Blackman, as he extended for the pylon, got to the end zone. No, it doesn't look like the ball broke the plane.
Good job by Fredericks. He cannot extend it. That's a good spot and a well done job.
Official perfectly positioned. A lot of people surrounding Mike Gundy over there on the Oklahoma State sideline. Terrence Frederick now off the field. And will it be the offense that comes back out, or the field goal kicker Quinn Sharp? 4th and goal from inside the 1. Gundy in an animated conversation with Whedon.
They're going to go for it, I think.
No sign of movement from the kicker Quinn Sharp, number 13.
Maybe they'll just get a penalty and move it back 5 yards, which wouldn't be a bad idea.
Well, that might be what they're doing, because the play clock is running and they're not showing any sign of moving. In fact, they might be guilty of multiple fouls. They have a lot of men on the field right now. Yeah, they're going to let the clock run down, probably take the penalty, I would think.
Yeah,
or else call a timeout at the end of it and try to punch it in from the 1.
If you're the Aggies, you don't have to accept the penalty.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
If I were Mike Sherman, I would not accept it. That just gives him a better angle to kick from.
Still going to be a tough angle from the right hash mark. Going to spot it just inside the 13-yard line. He's 2 for 2 today. 2 shorties, and this is another one.
Decline the yardage penalty.
Nice.
We'll put the ball back at the 1-yard line. Still 4th down.
That's good job, Mike Sherman. That's what you should do.
All right. But what if you're Mike Gundy now? We're going to call your bluff and we're going for it. And now you're going to be behind by 4 points.
Well, then I think Sherman's going to say, okay, I'm going to take defense, and my defense is going to hold me.
So now it becomes an 18-yard field goal try. And it is good.
All that for that. But they did get wrestling. That was good.
Yes. They wound up with 3. But that penalty on the 4th down stop against DeMontre Moore cost A&M. Let's check in down the sidelines with Janine Edwards.
Well, Sean, you know, there's been a lot of talk about the Big 12 conference realignment and, of course, the new interim commission that Chuck Nine is saying that he would like to approach Texas A&M about possibly reconsidering leaving to go to the SEC. Well, I spoke with A&M President Bowen Lofton right before the game, and his answer to my question on that was a resounding no. He said, we decided a year and a half ago that we were leaving, and we are leaving. We want to increase the visibility of our athletes and enhance our brand. We've already begun talking scheduling for 2012, he told me, and he expects the SEC to confirm A&M's membership within the next few weeks.
It's a good move, Sean.
Or I believe it is for a lot of reasons. They said right now, talking to the football coaches yesterday, head-to-head against Texas, recruiting here in the state of Texas, where there are hundreds of prospects every year. They're only winning about 20% of the battles. But if they have SEC to offer, there might be a lot of kids from this state who want to play in what they believe is the best football conference in America, the SEC. There is a flag down on the kickoff. They will win a much higher percentage of those head-to-head battles with the Longhorns, because of the appeal of the Southeastern Conference, which has produced the last 5 national champions.
Offside on the kicking team, number 20. 5-yard penalty. Re-kick.
Larry Stevens was offside. It is too bad, though. I mean, a lot of long-time great rivalries will go out the window. They probably will lose that rivalry with Texas. Of course, Texas establishing the Longhorn Network.
A little bit of a thorn in the side.
Had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
And the revenue that comes with it. The lack of sharing of revenue, big issue. But when you drive around down here, we drove from Houston to here about 90 miles, and you realize, you see the signs, Austin, 90 miles. That's how far they have to go to play the University of Texas. Waco, 90 miles to go play Baylor. You know, parents can drive the games. Mike Gundy says that's why he's a big proponent of the Big 12 staying together. Families, parents should be able to drive to see their kids play. For most of the games in this current Big 12 conference, you can. Well, on the redo, nobody was offside, and it's still another touchback. Yes, you are. We expect to see you on Dancing with the Stars one of these days. Ryan Tannehill, given time, has the completion to Jeff Fuller. Tackled immediately by Broderick Brown, who's done a very nice job covering one of the best receivers in the country today in Fuller. Just 4 catches for Jeff Fuller for 45 yards. 1 touchdown. They haven't scored here in the second half. The Aggies, and a low throw not handled by Fuller. Incomplete 10. 2nd and 10.
Quiet day for Jeff Fuller. Remember, he's nursing a hamstring. Janine told us at the top of the day. They've thrown to him a bunch, but only 4 receptions.
Now Tannehill now 19 out of 34 for 249.
It looked like it was tipped again.
I would hope so, because if not, it was woefully short. Again intended for Fuller. And the air has deeply gone out of the balloon here in the crowd.
Yeah.
Totally out of the game right now with the domination of this second half by Oklahoma State. Mike Sherman needs somebody to make a big play.
He's going to get it right here. They need it right here. And I'd still go back to Fuller.
Tannehill throws short, and Cyrus Gray, nice move after the catch. It looks like he got across the 40 before getting bumped back by Sean Lewis and Broderick Brown. It is a first down with the nose of the football across the 40-yard line.
Cyrus Gray takes advantage of Jeff Fuller clearing that area out. They just dropped on Fuller. Gray filled the void. There's a nice job picking up the first.
Gray is just 33 yards rushing. His streak of 9 straight 100-yard rushing games is likely going to end today. Alex Elkins, an immediate hit on Ryan Swope. Good to see Swope back into action after he got rocked and left the game for a while earlier in this half. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. 5.5 to go. The clock running. Each team with all 3 timeouts left. Short set by Tannehill. Fuller has it. His 5th catch. First down to the 49-yard line of Oklahoma State. Broderick Brown the tackle.
5:20 to go. Oklahoma State is just employing a zone. They're not going to get beat deep over the top. They're giving the underneath up. And they want that clock to just keep going.
Tannehill's going to try a deep ball. Single coverage on Fuller. And it is incomplete. Defended by Broderick Brown. Crowd screaming for pass interference. Fuller set up like a basketball player trying to box Brown out of the play.
I am really liking this Broderick Bulldog Brown, let me tell you. He has fought all game long at a decided height advantage, only 5'8", going against a 6'4" guy. He has stood tall today.
Well, Bill Young, the defensive coordinator, told us they call him Bulldog because he's about as competitive as anybody can be. Quick throw and catch. Brandel Jackson. Well short of the first down, however. Ball marked at the 44. Be another 3rd down and 5 for A&M. And the clock running. 4:45 left. Bill Young's defense pitching a shutout here in the second half. Five receivers, 3 to the right of Ryan Tannehill. First down on the completion to Kendrick McNeil, tackled by Daquan Lowe.
Nice option route inside by McNeil. Get Low on the inside and then just break the outside. Now you can only do that because you have good protection. You can see the field.
Down the seam, the ball surprised Kendrick McNeil. He was he was open. It was well timed, but McNeil took too long to look for the ball.
Sean, that's the one they're looking for. Okay, and inevitably there's going to be that great area in the zone where you're in between. And this time McNeil, he gets to that spot right. The ball's right where it has to be. Has the potential for a big play, and he drops it.
Drive out of 10 on the drive. Tannehill. That was a ball that should have been caught for a big play. 4 rushers for the Cowboys. For catch. Another first down. Soma Wachiku. They'll mark it at the 22-yard line. Under 4 minutes to end. A&M down by 10. Trying to make it a 1-score game. 12-yard completion to Wachiku.
Watch Swope in the slot right here.
Here comes a blitz. Tannehill got away. Got rocked near the first down marker. Another nifty run by Tannehill. Won a 65-yard touchdown run. 1 minute into the ball game. James Thomas put a good hit on Tannehill. Came up hobbling just a bit. There's an injured Cowboy defender on the field.
Looks like Machete Jones, number 99, who's played a good game here today, Sean.
James Thomas goes off. Apparent arm injury, maybe a stinger, the way his right arm was dangling.
Machete Jones has gotten some pressure. James Thomas had some nice coverage. He's played himself a pretty good football game also.
He had a huge play last season against A&M. A 63-yard fumble return for a touchdown. And a terrific week last week at Tulsa. Jones helped up. Last week against Tulsa, Thomas had an interception, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, a sack, 2 tackles for loss.
Can you do anything else?
And he did it in the wee small hours of the morning. For those who weren't aware, last week they were supposed to play Saturday night, a 9:10 kickoff Central Time in Tulsa, but there was weather delay, thunder and lightning in the area, torrential rain. They did not start the game till 12:16 a.m. It ended at 3:35 in the morning. They didn't get back to Stillwater at almost 6 a.m. Sunday. 2nd and 1. Tannehill went under center. Gray just wants to get the first down. He does. The clock will stop for a moment to move the chains. They're marching methodically, but using a lot of time in the process.
And that is what Oklahoma State wants to do. They're playing that soft zone and letting him throw underneath and methodically move the ball.
14th play of the drive. We're down to 3 minutes to go here in College Station. Swope finally down. Crowd thought there was a little extracurriculars, but the whistles hadn't been blowing. Broderick Brown and then Alex Elkins came in with a little late polish.
Yeah, Swope, they thought he was down, but he was actually on top of Elkins. And so he actually had an opportunity to get up and run, and then the other defender came over, and that's what the crowd was bothered about. But in the interim, the clock's still going down.
And the crowd is starting to get agitated about it. Under 2.5 to go. Tannehill has Fuller. Touchdown. So it took a while, but they got the 7 they needed. They'll have 7 with the extra point. And then Mike Sherman will have a decision to make. He has all 3 timeouts. Will the onside kick or will he try to play defense? Use those timeouts.
Well, the Bulldog bid on that one. He bid on that inside move, and Fuller was able to get in. Do you trust your defense?
Extra point good. It's a field goal game now. 80 yards, 15 plays, 4:04 off the clock. It ends on a 4-yard pass. Tannehill to Fuller. Time for our Pacific Life game summary. A&M had the decided edge in play in the first half. They led 20-3 at halftime, but then Oklahoma State with 275 yards of offense in the third quarter and 3 touchdowns, scored 21 unanswered points. They've got 6 more in the fourth quarter, but A&M has just scored. And now Mike Sherman has a big decision to make with 2:20 to go, down by 3, but he does have all 3 timeouts. He could kick off deep, hope that they get a 3-and-out from Oklahoma State, but they don't do that very often, the Cowboys, and that defense has to be very tired. They've been under siege the entire second half if you lean on them.
Plus, Sean, it might be the only opportunity you have to get a chance at the ball. You kick it off and they run that clock, you'll never get it. Here's your one chance to have an opportunity. You're going to have to stop them either way.
It looks like they're just going to kick it deep. Generally, Mike Sherman has an NFL background. That's what you see in the NFL. With 3 timeouts, they tend to kick it away. Because they have the benefit of a 2-minute warning in the NFL, which you don't have here. Gilbert runs the kickoff back, and then there are late flags. Two flags thrown. Scott Novak, the referee, will sort it out.
After the play, there's offsetting personal fouls. Personal foul, receiving team number 22. Personal foul, kicking team number 12. These will offset. First down.
C.J. Jones, wearing number 12, is the 12th man. Walk on. Selected cover kicks by the coaching staff. He got locked up with James Thomas. Woo.
They just kept on going.
And they threw a punch. Thomas Meyer, a drama major at Oklahoma State. Mike Sherman decided to lean on his defense. They need a 3-and-out. They're getting plenty of help from the 12th man in the stands.
Now is the time for your defense to show up.
Brandon Weeden's thrown for 434. One shy of the single game category record. You'd expect a steady dose of handoffs here. Randall ahead to the 25. Gain of 3. Timeout A&M. First for the Aggies. They have 2 left, and as they figure out what's going to happen on second down, we get back to Robert Flores. Well, what a tough loss for the Miami Hurricanes. 2nd and 7. Jeremy Smith is the running back now behind Weeden. Play action pass. Dump off short. Justin Horton, the backup to the end, gets to the 30, 2 yards short of the first down. First catch of the day for Horton Jr. And Mike Sherman uses his second timeout. He also has a player down.
Sean, this is a big play, obviously, right here. This third down.
Play of the game. They convert. It's
exactly.
Essentially ball game over. Third down and 3 upcoming. And a pass there, but a conservative pass, almost like a long handoff.
Yep.
Stephen Terrell is the injured player getting up and walking off now. Do you run that same kind of a play 3 yards along? Way to go on a running play. You like a short pass here to move the chains?
If they're going to throw, it'll be something like that where there's misdirection first and you have somebody sneaking out, but they don't really have the feet option with the quarterback like Tannehill would. And so, yeah, I would expect it's going to be pretty much the same type of thing here, Sean.
Third and 3, 1:59 remaining. Regulation time. A conversion from Mike Gundy's Cowboys here should put it away.
They have him spread out. That means there's a possibility of an inside run.
Jeremy Smith on the hip of Whedon. Whedon throws incomplete. High throw, and a good thing for Whedon that it was, because Terrence Frederick saw that one coming and was striding to get in front of Blackman, and a pick there might have gone into the end zone for A&M.
I did not like the call by Oklahoma State. Having said that, the gamble by Mike Sherman pays off. He trusts his defense, needed a 3-and-out, and he got a monster 3-and-out, and now he's looking for a big return here.
Those 3 plays used only 24 seconds, and A&M still has a timeout. Whistles. And if that's against A&M, and it is not, the signal by the far official.
Before the ball is snapped, ball start on the offense. Number 4, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
In the 1960s, change was on the horizon, and a new breed of woman was coming of age, the glamorous, adventurous Pan Am stewardess. Call up, Adventure Calls. ABC's Pan Am takes flight tomorrow night at 10 Eastern time on ABC. Sharp's punt about to take flight. They should get good fields. This guy's one of the best in the country. Not his best effort. Low line drive, kick. And Kendrick McNeil gobbled up immediately. Excellent coverage. Zach Craig down there to cover the punt. 41-yard punt. Loss of 1 on the return. The line third scrimmage is the 34. All they need is a field goal to tie. 1:40-11 and a timeout left for Texas A&M.
We got a little bit of juice back into the stadium. And remember, Tannehill is the guy who can beat you with his feet as well. It's a great option to be able to have right now. He can buy time.
Even yardage total per half. Well, most of the 150 in this half was on the last drive. The kicker has a career-long of 50. Randy Bullock. Tannehill near side. Cyrus Gray. A short game. 1 yard, but he did get out of bounds. Shoved out by Justin Gilbert.
Smart play by Gray. Stop the clock.
2nd and 9. The Aggies hit their own 35.
Another soft shell defensively by Oklahoma State. They're only rushing 3.
And Ryan Tannehill, lots of time. Deep throw, intercepted on the ricochet. Picked off by James Thomas. Broderick down there as well. It was intended for Jeff Fuller. Huge takeaway by Bill Young's defense, and that should end it. The 4th turnover of the half committed by the Aggies.
Sean, if I was going to give a player of the game to Oklahoma State, it would go to Broderick Brown. He has stood tall all game long against one of the country's top receivers. He has fought him. He's not a big man, but he plays with a big heart, and he is a good football player.
And the interception off the ricochet by Thomas, his 2nd of the season. Had the big fumble return last year against Mike Sherman. And the Aggies up in Stillwater. This will be an agonizing loss for a Texas A&M program that is clearly on the rise, rapidly improving under Mike Sherman. But here was a barometer game.
Yes.
To make a statement. They had a great year last year, 9-4, but Mike Sherman's slogan this year was prove it. Prove it wasn't a fluke. Prove it's sustained. And here was a chance to prove it.
They're going to really be disappointed because, like you said, they're on the rise, and Sean, they're young, and they have talent. That young offensive line, it's a good group, but they did not perform in the second half. They just kind of wilted, and that is going to cause a lot of concern because they go back and watch this tape. There's a lot of mistakes that they made. Now, credit Oklahoma State because they did what they had to, and I go back to Janine's interview at the half with Coach Gundy. He was not fazed at all where they were. In fact, he was kind of calm about the whole thing.
They basically said they'll get it together,
and they did. That's an impressive second half win by the Cowboys.
And they deserve a lot of credit. Down 20-3 at the half. Mentioned the bizarre night they had last Saturday in Tulsa. The game ends at 3:35 in the morning. They found out after the game that their assistant coach Glenn Spencer had lost his wife at age 40. They attended her visitation Tuesday. Coach Gundy missed practice for the first time ever on Thursday to fly to the funeral in Atlanta. Traveled here, fell very good behind against a very good team. And then what a comeback.
They did a fantastic job, and I can't say enough about old Bulldog corner. He just played a fantastic football game.
By the way, Whedon has thrown for 438, so he breaks his own single game passing record. There's Coach Spencer now down on the sideline. Had to feel, very good, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of emotional people around Coach Spencer and his boys in that locker room. Buried his wife yesterday. And 3 receivers will hold this game for Oklahoma State with 10 catches or more. That's the first time in school history that's happened. Anium with 10. Blackman and Cooper 11 catches each. Whedon threw the ball 60 times with no interceptions.
Started off slow, but boy, the second half started and he was mistake-free. Good decisions, balls where it had to be.
And Oklahoma State used the timeout with the clock at 2.
And then they just have to snap the ball, take the snaps, take 2 steps, hold it up, and then take a kneel.
Phil Young was emotional when we talked with him the other day. Such great empathy for Coach Spencer and his 2 teenage boys. Even Mike Sherman. He said, I don't know Coach Spencer at all. We asked Mike Sherman about it yesterday, and you could tell that Mike was very emotional about it. Just had great compassion for one of his coaching colleagues for the tremendous loss his family's dealing with. They put the clock back to 5. So Oklahoma State certainly a national championship contender.
Oklahoma State's real. They can move. We said ball was going to be in the air and they could move the ball up and down the field, and they did it. And even when things went wrong, Sean, they regrouped and they had a phenomenal second half. Did everything right.
Perhaps it'll come down to the Big 12 to that game with Oklahoma in Stillwater on ABC on December 3rd, but obviously some tough games right ahead at Texas, at Missouri. Baylor's a very good team. We saw Kansas State beat Miami on the road today. It's not an easy schedule, but they'll be favored, I would think, in every one of those games the rest of the way.
See what they're going to do. They're going to snap it to Justin Blackman and just let him run around for 5 seconds.
Number 14, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
He better be careful, because if he gets tackled with any time, they can kick a field goal. He's got to be really careful.
Or if he just drops the ball for no apparent reason.
Yes. I wonder how that happens, doesn't it?
I would hope that these coaches would get after him.
Come hard off the edge.
Oklahoma State's going to use another timeout. You wouldn't think it would be this hard, but as you said, they have to be careful. They don't want to punt, risk a bad snap or a block. For the win last week in the opening race of the Chase, Tony Stewart's jumped up to number 2. He is very much a contender. The points leader still Kevin Harvick. Dale Earnhardt Jr. right in the thick of it. Jimmy Johnson trying to win it again. All in action as the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup continues tomorrow. ESPN, the Sylvania 300 at New Hampshire, in beautiful Loudon, New Hampshire. The coverage starting at 1 Eastern. NASCAR countdown presented by Napa.
We're going to have our own case right here. Let's see if they don't run out of gas. Blackman's got second. Careful. 5 seconds goes a lot slower than you think.
They're going to take a safety. Play on the last play of the game.
End of the game. That was smart football.
So a terrific come from behind for Mike Gundy and the Cowboys. And an opening conference loss, first loss of the year overall as well for Texas A&M. Brandon Weeden, 438 yards and 2 touchdowns. And here's Janine Edwards with Mike Gundy.
I know. And Coach, we're talking at halftime you had 3 points and then you just went and marched down the field. What changed in the second half?
Well, there's 2 things. Our players are very mature and they have a lot of faith in each other. And we had hurt ourselves in the first half, and we knew that penalties hurt us and missed tackles. Our guys have a lot of heart. You know, they had mentioned playing for Angela Spencer, Glenn Spencer's wife, and they reminded each other of that at the half, and I think that had a lot to do with it.
Wow, I was just going to ask you about that. It's been such an emotional week, not only with Angela, but also that grueling midnight game that you had with Tulsa. How do you think, coming into this game, how did you think your players were going to respond to all of that?
Well, you know, life's full of adversity, unfortunately, and you really show your true colors when you get in a situation like that. And our players showed who they are and what they're made of. And I'm really proud of them. I'm really proud of the way they reached down deep, and I'm really proud of the way they handled Coach Spencer. And we'll always miss his wife. It's a great win for us.
Congratulations as I bring in Brandon Weeden here now. Congratulations on a great game. School records, by the way, completions, attempts, and yards. Seemed like in that third quarter, coming out after the half, you guys were just starting to move the ball at will. A lot of those short.
Dry callus feet overnight. But wait, call right now and we'll double the offer absolutely free. You get it all. 2 pairs.